Chapter 795. The Baokai shop was settled, but the Star Beast King asked the most important question. Tai Baokai, isn't the name of the Merchant Alliance a little too sensitive? Sheng Ziyuan and the others fell silent. They knew about Tai Baokai. Xing Jingfu and the others had a very high opinion of Tai Baokai. Tai Baokai had been following Su Yin, but there was news a while ago that the banners of demons were related to Tai Baokai. Su Yin clenched his fists and his face darkened. This scene made Kong Yuan tense up. He asked, Su Yin, did you ask us to come here this time to find out about the changes in the realm of devils? That's right. I want to know what happened in the realm of devils during this time. Tai Baokai is in the realm of devils. That's without a doubt. Su Yin nodded solemnly. He had purposely asked Zixioning to go to the Starry Sky Beast clan because he wanted to know about the major events that had happened in the demon region recently. However, he did not expect that the matter between Tai Baokai and the 10,000 demon flag had already caused such an uproar. Kong Yuan sighed. What we know is limited. My clan left the realm of devils a long time ago, but in recent years, the North Devils have been contacting the clans that left the realm of devils. They want us to return to the realm of devils and support the North Devils. Although there was a conflict with the North Devils before, it's not a big deal. Let's go. Damn it. Kong Qian's temper flared up. Since when did the realm of devils allow half-human, half-devil bloodlines to rule? If the creatures of the other realm of devils really reach the level of the North Devils, we wouldn't say anything and would support them. But the North Devils are half-human, half-devil bloodlines. Although the North Devils were powerful now and had many supporters, they still felt uneasy. However, if the North Devils obtained the banners of demons, they could really rally the various powers of the devil clans and rebuild the realm of devils. In the future, the realm of devils would really reach the level of the realm of devils. The banners of demons are indeed under Tai Baocai's control. The Astral Beast King said in a low voice. If the banners of demons are really taken away by the North Demons, the consequences will be unimaginable. With your relationship with the Tai Baokai, the North Demons will definitely target you in the future. If that day really comes. Su Yan's eyes released a cold, killing intent as he said coldly, I, Su Yan, am not afraid of it. If they provoke me, I will break their dragon vein. Kong Qian and the others felt a chill in their hearts. With Su Yan's words and his potential in the future, if he had an opportunity in the occult sect, then he might really be able to wreak havoc in the demon domain in the future. The strange doors had made the big clans pay attention to them. However, if they were the outstanding warriors of the strange doors, it was enough to make the big clans afraid. They could come and go like ghosts and disappear like ghosts, which could cut off their dragon vein and deal a heavy blow to the live star area. Moreover, I believe that the Baokai won't fall so easily. Su Yan took a deep breath and said, This time, I'm going to the demon domain to investigate the Baocai's current situation. I don't believe that the Baokai will fall so easily. It's too dangerous. Sheng Ziyuan and the others frowned. If Su Yan went to the demon domain, once his identity was exposed, it would be the same as falling into a land of death. At that time, no one would be able to save him. However, this was Su Yan's only chance. Once the banners of demons were really under the North Demons' control, it would be as difficult as ascending to the heavens to deal with the North Demons. Now, he could only take the risk and enter the demon domain to rescue the Tai Baokai. In short, the Baokai falling into the hands of the demon domain was safer than falling into the hands of the Yin-Yang Road. Seeing that Su Yan had made up his mind, they didn't say anything else. Su Yan, I'm here this time to give you two things. At this moment, Star Element said with a smile. Also, before the Star Lord left Hokuto, he specially left something for me to pass to you. Bamboo Moon left this for me. Su Yan's eyes lit up as he muttered in his heart. Bamboo Moon is now in the Sky Bamboo lineage. I wonder what she experienced and if she's safe now. That's right. Sheng Ziyuan took out a spatial jade slip and handed it to Su Yan. He guessed that it should be some kind of secret technique or heavenly art. Its background was probably not simple. Otherwise, he wouldn't have told Star Element about it before leaving. What Bamboo Moon left for me shouldn't be a heavenly art. Is it a strange inheritance? Or a divine ability, secret technique? Su Yin was full of anticipation. He didn't open it immediately, but kept it first. It was very far from here to the demon domain, and he was prepared to observe it on the way. Bamboo Moon, I hope everything goes well for you. Su Yin looked up at the starry sky, his heart surging. When he rushed into the chaos ruins in the future, he would definitely be able to meet Bamboo Moon. He was looking forward to that day. There's another thing that the Old Star Lord asked me to pass to you. Sheng Yuan's expression was solemn as he took out a divine talisman and handed it to Su Yin. This silver divine talisman was faintly suffused with the light of order. He couldn't see what level of treasure it was, but Su Yin could feel that the energy contained in this divine talisman was very shocking. The Old Star Lord is so bold. Kong Qian looked at it and said in shock, "The divine power of a half-step almighty is gathered in the divine talisman. When used at a critical moment, it's equivalent to a half-step almighty suppressing with one hand. The divine king will most likely be severely injured or even killed." Su Yin was moved. It was very difficult to refine such a divine talisman. After all, it required the Old Star Lord's energy essence to refine it into a divine talisman, which was a great loss to a half-step almighty. Before Kong Qian left, the Old Star Lord had been in seclusion for 3 days and 3 nights before he finished refining it. When the Old Star Lord came out of seclusion, he had obviously aged a lot. This had consumed a lot of his lifespan, which showed how powerful the divine talisman was. In short, the value of this thing was definitely higher than the Divine King's weapon. It was even more important for Su Yin now. The Star Beast Kings were full of envy. This thing could save one's life and also intimidate strong enemies. With Su Yin's current cultivation, it was impossible for him to be targeted by any almighty, not even a half-step almighty, unless he was suicidal and took the initiative to reveal his identity. If there's a chance, I'll take out the cosmic liquid from the dead universe and give it to the Old Star Lord. This way, the Old Star Lord will have a hope of becoming an almighty. Su Yin decided in his heart. Hokuto had helped Su Yin too much, whether it was Bamboo Moon or the Old Star Lord. If he had any achievements in the future, he would definitely want to repay them. Go back and thank the Old Star Lord for me. Su Yin directly put the divine talisman in between his eyebrows. This thing that killed the Divine King would definitely be of great help to Su Yin in his journey to the demon realm. Su Yin, I only have one thing to say. No matter how difficult this journey is, you must come back alive. Sheng Zan said in a deep voice. If you encounter any danger, you must retreat. If you can't save the Tai Baokai, you might even lose your life. That's not wise. Su Yin smiled bitterly. Whether or not he could find the Baokai was still a problem. As long as he could find it, Su Yin felt that it might not be difficult to take the Tai Baokai away. Elders, I'll have to trouble you to take me into the demon realm, Su Yin said to Kong Yuan and Kong Qian. It's just a small matter. Kong Yuan smiled and said, We're also going to the demon realm. The northern demons have already sent us an invitation. If we don't go, it's inevitable that we'll be targeted by the northern demons. After all, our lineage is not weak among the demon realm's clans. Thank you. Su Yin knew very well that the giant beasts of the starry sky would have to bear a certain risk if they took him to the demon realm. If the demon realm found out that they took Su Yin into the demon realm, it would be tantamount to a disaster for the giant beasts of the starry sky lineage. In fact, for the giant beasts of the starry sky lineage, if Su Yin really took the Tai Baokai away, and if the Tai Baokai could really control the banners of demons in the future, then it would definitely be a great thing for the giant beasts of the starry sky lineage in the future. It would be enough for the clan to prosper in the future because of this friendship. After all, the Tai Baokai had always controlled the banners of demons. Would this mysterious spell be fulfilled by the Tai Baokai or the northern demons? It really depended on whether the grand event held in the demon realm would go smoothly. Su Yin, regarding your ascension to godhood, we won't be able to help you. Star Element helplessly said, When I ascended to godhood, I used primal chaos origin energy. It's not considered high-end, but if you use it, your foundation in the deity realm will definitely not be enough. I heard that the blood realm has primal chaos origin energy, but I don't know if it's true or not. Speaking of this matter, Su Yin had almost forgotten about the corpse blood sea. Although a month had passed, according to Luo Deli's information, the various great powers had joined forces to go there once, but they suffered disastrous casualties. Moreover, they had not gone deep into the corpse blood sea. This meant that the corpse blood sea was too dangerous. Now, they had joined forces to launch a second attack. It was said that the great characters of various races had come to hold the fort and explore the corpse blood sea together. Even the divine king of the Feng family had come with a supreme expert saint weapon. Just as they were discussing, Su Yan's expression slightly changed. He faintly sensed that an extremely terrifying fluctuation was spreading. Moreover, it was spreading from a very distant place, affecting the universe. At first, Su Yan thought that it should be some great character awakening, or perhaps on a punitive expedition. But soon after, that sweeping demonic aura suddenly became countless times more terrifying. It was as if a terrifying demonic abyss had exploded. The sweeping energy fluctuations swept across the vast rivers and mountains. Boom! The boundless earth trembled and sank completely. Along the way, all the spiritual mountains and great rivers collapsed in unison. Demons and gods danced chaotically in the Blood Realm city. This was the Feng family's headquarters, and they could oversee the entire Blood Realm at any time. Now, this uncontrollable energy explosion caused the entire Feng family to panic. In the Blood Realm city, one after another, the great characters of the Feng family awakened. There were even half-step supreme experts whose auras moved. It was as if a giant dragon had awakened. First, it suppressed the entire Blood Realm city to prevent a powerful enemy from destroying the city's foundation. Heavens, quickly look! The cultivators in the Blood Realm city were all shocked. Many experts opened their heavenly eyes to look. They saw that in the direction of the source, mountains were collapsing and seas were splitting apart. A great collapse had erupted within 1,000,000 li of territory. At the end of the horizon, there was a dark red expanse. This was dyed red by blood, and within it were countless corpses. The heavens rumbled under the pressure, and the great mountains were blasted apart. Earth and rocks overflowed into the sky. Even the heavenly deities trembled. The commotion was too frightening. It was as if a great region had exploded in a short period of time. In the following destruction of the world, bloody light rushed into the heavens. Miserable cries rang out frequently. There were even great characters whose roars shook the heavens. However, their auras quickly scattered, and they let out mournful screams. They were reduced to mere waves in this great calamity. The commotion this matter caused was too great. The entire Blood Realm was shocked as they all looked towards the source. A vast region collapsed just like that. This shocked the Blood Realm and caused a lot of panic. A large number of cultivators that were relatively close to the land of catastrophe were scared out of their wits. It's the corpse blood sea, Su Yin speculated. His expression was somewhat abnormal. The layout of the corpse blood sea was even more astonishing than he had imagined. This layout had even been ignited and devoured all life in the universe, forming a land of death. The number of dead was immeasurable. Su Yin gazed at the distant corpse blood sea. It was as if he was looking at a peerless demon slowly standing up and charging into the demonic abyss. Chapter 796. The Blood Realm underwent a huge change. Millions of miles of territory collapsed as a blood-red light soared into the sky. It was unknown just how many corpses there were, floating in this dark red world, soaked in blood, crushing the heavens until it rumbled with noise. Buzz! A boundless murderous aura swept across the entire Blood Realm, causing all the important figures who were watching to feel their hair stand on end. After all, the thick smell of blood and the mournful screams were more tragic than purgatory. All the experts' expressions changed. This was too cruel. The dense blood-red light had already torn apart the starry sky and swept up the stars in the outer realms. They even began to tremble as if they were about to fall from the sky. The The entire world was on the verge of destruction, and the energy ripples that spread out swept through various territories, creating a scene of great destruction. All the experts who saw this scene trembled with fear. Inside the Blood Realm city, the important figures of the Foam clan roared. Many experts of the Foam clan had entered the Corpse Blood Sea, but now that the Corpse Blood Sea was in trouble, the peak overlord of the Foam clan had to leave in anger. Immediately, many half-step almighties rushed out. Their destination was the Corpse Blood Sea. Not only him, but Zhu Fu of the Ancestral Hall in the Blood Realm was also furious. Two half-step almighties had awakened at the same time. Their auras swallowed the starry sky and pierced through the clouds. These were two old kings who were about to be unparalleled in the world. They directly joined forces and rushed towards the Corpse Blood Sea. This was because there were many elite soldiers and experts of the younger generation in the Corpse Blood Sea. Once they died, it would be a heavy blow to the two clans. Moreover, there were many experts and even the rising stars of the peak clans in the Corpse Blood Sea. Even Luo Tiandu of the Daluo dynasty and King Flash of the Divine Firmament Star Field were present. The Corpse Blood Sea caused a huge commotion in the Blood Realm. Even Su Yan, who was far away, was shocked. He really saw a blood-red demon emerge. It seemed like it was going to tear the entire world apart and shock the world. Quickly, go and save the young master. Not good. My sect's Grand Elder went to the Corpse Blood Sea. Now, there's a disaster in the Corpse Blood Sea. Report. The clan master's life, soul lamp, has shattered. The world was in chaos. Many cultivators roared crazily, but the disaster in the Corpse Blood Sea made them not dare to approach. Millions of miles of territory, the sky, red, and blood, shattered the stars of the universe. A corner of the Blood Realm had turned into a purgatory. Even godly monarchs did not dare to explore it. Only half-step almighties charged into the Corpse Blood Sea with their sacred weapons. Brother, Luo Huaqing was sobbing, and her eyes were bloodshot. She was extremely nervous. Luo Tiandu had gone as well, but the Corpse Blood Sea's calamity had struck her. She recalled what Luo Daong had said to her before they parted ways, that anyone who entered the Corpse Blood Sea would die. The Blood Realm was in chaos. When the two half-step supreme existences rushed towards the Corpse Blood Sea, they emitted a supreme divine aura that caused the blood light to dim. The corner of the world that was in this calamity exploded with countless large cracks. After all, two half-step Grand Elders had joined forces to rush into the Corpse Blood Sea. Su Yan had been using his heavenly eye to observe the trend of the world. At first, he felt that the Corpse Blood Sea was like a ghost cave. It was 10,000 times more ferocious, with mountains of corpses and seas of blood. Death was inevitable. But when this place was formed, he realized that the layout of the Corpse Blood Sea was much clearer. Otherwise, given the current situation of the Corpse Blood Sea, even half-step Grand Elders would not be able to force their way in. This made Su Yan mutter in his heart. Was someone setting up a trap to kill all living beings? But this trap was too big. Would the Ancestral Hall dare to do so? Once they were found out, the consequences would be unimaginable. After all, it involved the Great Havenlaw dynasty, Divine Firmament Star Zone, Nanyang sect, and the Foam family. According to ancient legends, the Corpse Blood Sea used to be a super battlefield. The number of living beings that died there could only be measured in the hundreds of millions. Even if no one set up this trap, it would be hard to keep one's life if they barged into such a dangerous place. After all, after so many years, blood had become a very dangerous substance. It could kill, destroy one's fate, and corrode one's chi and blood, whether or not someone set up this trap. And even if they could enter now, Su Yan did not want to cause any more trouble. Now, he only wanted to go to the demon region to find out about Baotsai's whereabouts. That was his top priority. Terrifying blood essence was still boiling in the Corpse Blood Sea. The two half-step Grand Elders had unleashed their full power. They were terrifying to the extreme and had torn a corner of the Corpse Blood Sea's layout. However, they realized that the deeper they went, the more dangerous it was. The current situation of the corpse blood sea made their hearts palpitate. They felt that the world was giving birth to some kind of ominous thing. Let's go. The half-step grand elders did not want to stay any longer. They brought their children and fled the corpse blood sea. Bastard, Luo Huaqing cursed, but his mouth was sealed by Luo Enyang. He said with a bitter face, "My lady, don't talk nonsense." The half-step grand elders had eyes like lightning. They could easily see that someone was cursing them, especially Luo Huaqing. Once the half-step grand elders noticed that they would either die or be injured. Moreover, the half-step grand elders of the Feng family and the ancestral hall had no obligation to take the risk and rescue the others. After all, the corpse blood sea was too dangerous. The half-step grand elders could not search all the areas and take away all the living experts of their families. With the layout of the corpse blood sea, any delay in rescuing them would be fatal. Even the half-step grand elders did not want to go into such a situation, let alone the divine king. In short, many tribes were in despair. The strongest of the younger generation and the strongest of the older generation had entered. However, they might have died in there. Chaotic growth. The older generation was scared. They were glad that they did not go to the corpse blood sea. Otherwise, they might not be able to come back. The changes in the Milky Way galaxy, the chaos ruins, the changes in the Luo star field, and now the changes in the corpse blood sea. One after another, these changes seemed to indicate that the end of the universe had arrived. The time for heroes to contend for hegemony had arrived. There were disasters, but there were also opportunities. A large number of geniuses stood out and walked to the front of the world, far surpassing their peers. It's too fierce. Fortunately, we did not go to the corpse blood sea. The blood realm gathered all the major tribes. The Feng family was the undisputed number one, but the Wu family was also the undisputed number two. It was said that the Wu family originated from the chaos ruins. Their ancestors had a grand elder, but this tribe had declined long ago. Even so, their influence in the blood realm was still great. Now, the entire Wu family was in an uproar. The Wu family's patriarch personally moved Wu Heng to a chaos palace. After all these years, Wu Heng had changed greatly. His powerful body was filled with a martial aura that rushed into the heavens. Even the slightest bit of blood energy from his pores had the power to collapse the heavens. Wu Heng was now the number one of the younger generation of the Wu family. After returning from the Big Dipper more than 10 years ago, he received the inheritance and advanced in the Wu family. His strength had undergone a shocking transformation. Wu Heng, if you hadn't tried your best to stop us, our clan would have faced a calamity of extermination. Even if the Feng clan didn't make a move, the other forces wouldn't have been able to stop themselves from targeting our Feng clan. The Wu family's patriarch sat cross-legged in the chaos. His appearance was solemn. His bronze skin was like a pillar that supported the heavens. He was powerful and intimidating. When his rich blood energy surged, Wu Heng seemed especially small. This was the patriarch of the Wu family, a divine king who had been accumulating resources in secret to break through. Patriarch, I also received a message from a friend. If you did not stand on my side, our family would have suffered great losses. Wu Heng was scared just thinking about it. The news of the primal chaos source Qi had caused the entire Wu family to go crazy. Even the patriarch felt that they had to fight for it at all costs. After all, this thing was enough for Wu Heng to rise. If they had a face-to-face talk with the Feng family, the Wu family would definitely restore their ancestors' glory. After all, the Wu family was very important in the blood domain. If the Wu family fought for it with all their strength and used all their resources, they would have a great chance. But now, it seemed that the corpse blood sea could not be rushed. The Wu family had avoided a great loss. Otherwise, the patriarch and Wu Heng might have died in the corpse blood sea. Su Yin, oh Su Yin, are you in the blood domain or the enlightenment place? I've heard about the Baokai. Will you go to the fiend domain? Wu Heng took out a stalk of lightning grass. His heart was filled with emotions. Su Yin was a master of the occult arts. His words were very trustworthy. Wu Hong did not even want the Marshall clan to gamble the fate of their clan for him and fight for a piece of land for him. Of course, if not for the fact that Su Yin trusted Wu Hong, he would not have revealed his whereabouts. Wu Hong was very familiar with the Tai Bao Kai. Back then, they had ventured into the lightning domain of the Big Dipper with Tensor. Their harvest was not small. Su Yin naturally knew that the Wu family was in the blood domain. The moment the corpse blood sea appeared, he sent Luo Dali to the Wu family to deliver the news. Big brother, how did you know? Luo Dali was tongue-tied. When the primal chaos source Qi appeared, even he wanted to take the risk. Luo Dali went to the Wu family. Although he was in charge of delivering the news, he knew the general content. How did Su Yin know that the corpse blood sea was not to be entered? Su Yin could not help but mutter. Was his insight into the heavens and earth already at the level of a rank 7 master of the occult arts? A rank 7 was enough to be called a grandmaster of the occult arts. It was enough to see things that even the mighty could not see. Back then, Su Yin opened the snow mountain on earth and observed the Milky Way. That was how his occult arts improved rapidly. Now, one can take the risk to explore the corpse blood sea. But who dares to go? Su Yin snorted in his heart. He did not have the time. If he did, he would take the risk to see who was the mastermind. In fact, Su Yin already had a rough idea. He just needed to see the truth with his own eyes. The disaster lasted for a day before it ended. When the news spread, the blood domain was dead silent. Apart from the people taken away by the half-step mighty, there was no trace of the others. Were they all dead? A sense of fear rose spontaneously. Any expert who saw the situation would shudder and swear never to go to the corpse blood sea. Sigh. Luo Enyang and the others sighed. Luo Huaqin cried until he fainted a few times. But they could only wait for the experts from their families to arrive. There was nothing they could do. Big brother, is Luo Tindu really dead? And King Flash, Luo Dali found it hard to believe. After all, he was a young overlord who dared to compete with Emperor Nan. Luo Dali had been in the Daluo dynasty for many years and knew that Luo Tiandu was a good person. If this Ing Jie really died in the corpse blood sea, it would be a pity. Even if King Flash died, that would be the scariest and bloodiest thing. He represented the peak clans behind him. He was the hope of the divine firmament star region. If King Flash died in the corpse blood sea, who knew how angry the divine firmament star region would be? Even the universe would tremble. That's hard to say. Su Yin shook his head gently. Anyway, this was a big deal. If King Flash and Luo Tiandu died, it would be more shocking than the collapse of the Mi Luo star region. The editor found out about the little black room and asked me to change it. I can't help but laugh. Ha ha ha. Chapter 797. Time to go. Su Yin prepared to leave. He didn't have time to waste. Every moment he delayed the Bao Kai would be in more danger. He had to rush to the demon realm as soon as possible. In short, he didn't want to see Tai Bao Cai's corpse. Su Yin didn't believe that it had died at the hands of the northern demons. You don't have to worry about the Merchant Alliance. With the old Star Lord and the others helping me, I'm more confident. Zi Xioning and the others left first, followed by Shang Ziyuan and Star Element. With the addition of the Star Beasts, Zi Xioning was confident that the Merchant Alliance would be fully opened in about a year. For safety reasons, the Bao Kai shop was renamed the Treasure Gathering Merchant Alliance. Su Yin was also looking forward to the day when the Treasure Gathering Merchant Alliance could set off a storm in the universe and become a well-known merchant alliance. We should go too. The Blood Realm is going to be in chaos. People from the Demon Realm will probably come. Now is the best time to go to the Thousand Demon City and participate in the Northern Demons Festival. Kong Qian had brought his race's star battleship, which was enough to cross the universe. However, it would take 5 to 6 days to do so. Moreover, it would consume a huge amount of resources. It required chaos liquid as a source of energy. As long as they weren't in a hurry, even a peak race wouldn't be willing to directly cross the universe. The silver battleship was enormous, with more than 300 cultivation rooms. After all, it was a Star Beast battleship. The cultivation rooms were enough to fit a mountain. Su Yin entered one of the cultivation rooms and took out the space jade slip that Bamboo Moon had given him. I wonder what Bamboo Moon left for me. Su Yan's lips curled up slightly. He activated the space jade slip with anticipation. Su Yan's primordial spirit entered. Spatial jade slips, as the name implied, were forged from spatial crystals. Su Yin felt as if he had barged into another space-time. What greeted him was an incarnation of Bamboo Moon. She floated within the jade slip, her slender figure rising and falling. She wore a silver robe, and a smile hung on her face, looking graceful and elegant. Bamboo Moon. Su Yin looked at her. After a long time, he said softly, I'm really curious about what you left for me. Bamboo Moon's spiritual will also existed in her soul avatar. She smiled and said, Back then, I found a great mystique in an incomplete universe. It's very suitable for you to cultivate. I hope it can be of help to you. Prehistoric divine ability. Su Yin was moved. He discovered that there were many ancient characters floating in the space jade slip. They were densely packed together and emitted an extremely ancient aura. There was a sense of sedimentation from the passage of time. Su Yan's primordial spirit opened his heavenly eye. Divine light shot out from his golden pupils as he focused on observing the scripture. These scripture characters seemed to be arranged in a certain pattern. It was like a very special and majestic array formation, but it also seemed like millions of weapons were assembled together. In the process of observing, Su Yin felt as if he was looking at a giant pillar that held up the sky. Su Yan's heart trembled. This was because the terrifying pressure brought about by the scripture was like a divine staff of the great Tao that could shatter the universe's stars. This was the deterrent force brought about by the scripture, but it was like a real divine staff of the great Tao. It bombarded Su Yan's body, making him breathe heavily. Every strike was heavy and ferocious, containing a peerless power that could shatter a true dragon. This divine ability somewhat subverted Su Yan's understanding of divine abilities and secret techniques. This was because it contained the domain of array formation. Once it was evolved, it could borrow the power of heaven and earth to form a special divine ability and secret technique to suppress strong enemies. Bamboo Moon was very considerate. When she saw Su Yin take out the immortal iron staff, she left behind this divine ability. She hoped that it could really help him. This divine ability is called the Subduing Sky Staff Formation. The Subduing Sky Staff Formation is divided into two levels, the Subduing Dragon Staff Formation and the Subduing Sky Staff Formation. The minimum requirement to cultivate it is the Immortal Realm. However, Su Yin, your physique is strong. You can cultivate the Subduing Dragon Staff Formation in advance. According to my speculations, this divine ability is able to unleash the Subduing Dragon Staff Formation in the Immortal Realm. Its power is extraordinary. Of course, it needs to be combined with a strong array formation cultivation to unleash the domain of great success. It also needs to be combined with a powerful weapon. However, you have both of these requirements. As long as you cultivate the Subduing Dragon Staff Formation with your battle strength, there are very few people below the Divine King who could trap you. Su Yan's blood was boiling from Bamboo Moon's words. This was a special divine ability. It included array formation, physical body, and staff techniques. These three forms were enough to perfectly display Su Yan's battle stance and explode with the strongest power. Now, Su Yan's physical body, array formation, and immortal iron staff were the three great combinations that Su Yin was proud of. However, if he used the Subduing Dragon Staff Formation, it was enough to combine the three Delis into one and evolve the Subduing Dragon Staff Formation. Su Yin, Bamboo Moon's figure became more and more blurry. She was like a fairy who returned from the waves. A gentle smile hung on her beautiful face. Her snow-white body was suffused with moonlight and starlight. Bamboo Moon, are you leaving? Su Yin looked at the indescribably beautiful Bamboo Moon and murmured, Remember, Su Yin, cultivate diligently. Don't be arrogant. The universe is just a beginning. In the future, you will discover that the world is more terrifying than you can imagine. When you reach a certain level, you will see things that the rest of the world cannot. Bamboo Moon's gentle words came. I hope that one day, you will also be one of them. Haha, I definitely will. Suyin let out a long laugh. He looked at Zhu Yu and watched as her afterimage slowly dissipated and finally disappeared. He smiled and said, "Wait for me. I will find you." Suyan's eyes also fell on the subduing sky staff formation. This divine ability was very suitable for him. It could play a crucial role in increasing Su Yan's battle strength. However, while he was happy, Su Yan's face turned cold. Could the incomplete universe that Bamboo Moon mentioned be the incomplete universe that Zixia Fairy said could only be opened with the star and moon body? And could the subduing dragon staff formation be a divine ability that the Han family needed? Thinking of this, Su Yin felt that there was really hope. A divine ability like this was extremely precious. This was a divine ability that had been lost in history. If it was combined with a strong enough formation and weapon, there was no need to say more about its power. The value of this thing is probably not inferior to the secret skills of the heavens. If it is used properly, it will be amazing. After all, it was a special, great divine ability that Su Yin could master in a short period of time. His face was full of smiles as he could not help but mutter, "It is rumored that there are 9 most powerful divine abilities in history. The initial fist is only one of them. Why is it that there are no rumors about the other 8? The Chaos Ruins were the land of the immortal star. It is not surprising that there are all kinds of divine abilities hidden in the Chaos Ruins. Could the 8 great divine abilities in history also be in the Chaos Ruins? Or could it be that they were collected by the giant forces in the Chaos Ruins?" Su Yin murmured. With the passage of time, it was possible that the tribes in the Ancestral Hall had developed an extremely terrifying divine ability. Perhaps it was not inferior to the 9 great divine abilities in history. However, this subduing sky staff formation is already overbearing enough. Su Yin was very much looking forward to this divine ability. His thoughts were immersed in the evolution process of the subduing dragon staff formation. Every evolution required an extremely high level of formation cultivation to deduce. This wasn't difficult for Su Yin. However, if he were to really cultivate it, the difficulty of this subduing dragon staff formation was extremely high. With Su Yan's current level of formation cultivation, it was difficult for him to study it. If I can cultivate this divine ability, it will be like adding wings to a tiger. In the future, when I cultivate the subduing sky staff formation, my cultivation will probably reach the deity realm or even the heavenly deity realm. However, the subduing sky staff formation's requirements for formation Dao are even more terrifying. I wonder how strong the subduing sky staff formation will be at that time. Su Yin thought to himself. There were always some terrifying secret techniques in the world that could enhance one's strength. If a divine ability in history was already so terrifying, then the ancient families in the Chaos Ruins must also have secret techniques that weren't inferior to the subduing sky staff formation. Su Yin sat cross-legged in the cultivation room and seriously studied the subduing dragon staff formation's cultivation method. The astral battleship had already set off, leaving the troubled blood domain. So many people had died in the corpse blood sea, burying the seeds of many powerful races. In addition, King Flash and Luo Tiandu were also involved. The blood domain was destined to be chaotic in the future. The astral battleship crossed one vast star field after another, heading towards the North Cosmos. Traveling through the cosmos normally required one to be strong enough. They might even be attacked by various universe mercenaries. Of course, a battleship was essential. The demon realm had already sent out invitations to various universe forces to attend the demon realm's event. This also meant that there really wasn't any danger on the ancient star road to the demon realm. After all, there weren't many forces in the universe that dared to go against the demon realm, especially the races that came to participate in the event. I wonder what kind of event it is. Look at so many of our fellow Taoists here. There are probably many familiar faces. On the way, they met many battleships that were on the way. They gathered together and sailed towards the demon realm. The North Demon is really terrifying. It's said that the banners of demons is the #1 treasure of the demon realm. The North Demon is so young, but he already has such a powerful weapon. It's hard to imagine how strong the North Demon will be in the future. It's an unknown, but it's absolutely heaven-defying. The North Demon of this generation will definitely cultivate to an unimaginable level and lead the demon realm to glory. The older generation sighed, while the younger generation was suffocating. The North Demon was strong enough, and now that he had such a great opportunity, many of the demon realm's geniuses were in despair. How could they compete with the North Demon in the future? Speaking of which, ever since the news of the demon realm ruling the North Demon spread out, the North Demon's glory was unparalleled. He even surpassed the East Demon, West Buddha, and South Emperor. The North Demon was practically the #1 person in the universe. Who didn't know that being able to cultivate with a peerless treasure was an opportunity that even the divine king desired? Now that the North Demon had obtained the 10,000 demon flag, he had gathered all the forces of the demon region under his command. In the future battle for supremacy in the Chaos Ruins, how many young overlords would be able to stop the North Demon's power? It had to be said that the news of the demon realm's North Demon being crowned had a huge impact. In the past few days, the news had spread throughout the universe. Even many of the overlords in the Chaos Ruins were moved. Could it be another powerful person in the future? Ha ha! Suyin, your brothers were all killed by the demon realm. Why haven't you come out yet? Even if it's just a word, it's fine. Suyin, you coward. It's been so long. Why haven't you come out to say a word? In the Milky Way, the situation was still shocking. However, it was tightly sealed by the Ancestral Palace and the Dark Underworld race. Occasionally, the aura of powerful people would leak out, intimidating the Milky Way. Ever since the Chaos Ruins incident ended, the old leader also went into hiding. He wouldn't enter the Milky Way. After all, if the Ancestral Palace and the other forces were determined to destroy the Milky Way, then the old leader would definitely be their scariest deterrent. Although the war had stopped, the Ancestral Palace and the Dark Underworld race's experts gathered outside the Milky Way. Some experts stood out and sneered. Could it be that Baokai has really fallen? Xia Zhe and the others felt terrible, till he clenched his fists. That year, they saw with their own eyes that Tai Baokai was captured and taken away. No, definitely not. Su Bingshuang murmured. Her eyes were filled with tears. Could that panda really die? In particular, Yi Yuan's voice was resolute. It's impossible. Baokai is definitely still alive. The Ancestral Palace's experts are forcing us to come out. The demon realm said that the one who has the banners of demons is the master of the demon realm. However, the one who has the banners of demons is Tai Baokai. If it wasn't the northern demon, my brother wouldn't have fallen. Tensor wanted to say something, but didn't. After all, the banners of demons have been exposed. Tai Baokai really had a major accident. During this period, the back progenitor had changed a lot. The Blood Lion Divine King and the others organized the younger generation of disciples. They preached all day long and set up tests to nurture their growth. The effect of the strongest trial ground finally showed its true value. Even the Blood Lion Divine King and the others gained a lot after exploring it. They even obtained some terrifying secret treasures. Could it be that the strongest trial ground is the place of inheritance left by the ancestors of our burial realm race? Could it be that our race's immortal treasure is hidden in it? They were all suspicious. They didn't know that the burial realm race had another trial ground. The back progenitor hasn't been opened for countless years. Tensor found it hard to believe. How long had the back progenitor existed? This was a mystery. In short, the secrets of Earth were probably only known by the old Taoist who guarded the strongest training ground. However, this guy's memories seemed to be unlocked along with the opening of the strongest training ground. He had to clear the strongest training ground first. My race's Zhu Tian is not dead. Suyin, if you don't want to go, then wash your neck and wait. My race's Zhu Tian will come and challenge you. This news spread throughout the Milky Way, exploding in the back progenitor. Yuan and the others all stood up and directly activated the strongest training ground. They wanted to become stronger so that in the future, they could form an invincible battle team that could sweep through a region and dream of returning to the immortal planet. They also wanted to experience a complete transformation, far away in the demon realm. In a starry sky battleship that was about to cross to the demon realm, Kong Qian knocked on Su Yan's cultivation room. When the door of the cultivation room was pushed open, Su Yan walked out with his spirit shawl. His eyes were red, but his body was uncontrollably emitting a fierce and domineering aura. It was like a golden bell, like the stars in the universe, shaking their blood and qi. Kong Qian and Kong Yuan were shocked. They were not prepared, so they fell for it. But they were still in the heavenly god realm. Freak! The starry sky beast king lowered her head. The golden horn on her forehead glowed brightly. Her red, coral-like eyes flashed with shock. She really felt that Su Yan was an old monster. His blood essence was so terrifying that her body was about to explode. Another big chapter. Brothers, Qing Tian has gone home. I'll be writing in seclusion during this period. I want to finish a round of chapters as soon as possible. Also, I recommend a very good history book, Chongning Emperor's Army. Chapter 798. Su Yan hadn't slept or rested for the past few days, comprehending the subduing dragon formation staff. He was immersed in the evolution process of the subduing dragon formation staff. Now that his cultivation was interrupted, Su Yan's uncontrollable blood essence boiled on its own, releasing the profound meaning of the subduing dragon formation staff. But when it reached the ears of the starry sky beast king, it was like a sudden clap of thunder from the nine heavens. It shook her so much that her blood essence was in chaos, and she couldn't even stand steadily. Her powerful body was about to explode. The starry sky beast king's face was filled with disdain. She hurriedly avoided Su Yan, thinking that he was too monstrous. How many years had Su Yan been cultivating? How could he have accumulated such a terrifying foundation? He hadn't even become a god yet. This was a blow to the starry sky beast king. She wore a bitter expression and didn't say anything. Kong Qian was also very knowledgeable. He secretly guessed that Su Yan must have used some kind of pinnacle good fortune. It should have originated from the peak inheritance of the buried region clan. Otherwise, it was impossible for him to have such a strong foundation. Su Yan has obtained a foundation that can compete with the Supremes, but he lacks the origin energy to enter the immortal realm. Kong Yuan sighed. As expected of the burial region clan, they had once been the strongest clan in history. They had definitely preserved some of their inheritance, which was enough for Su Yan and the others to benefit from for the rest of their lives. Just based on Su Yan's accumulation in the Great Dao realm, how many people in the world could compare to him? Actually, this was already terrifying enough. After all, even the powerful ancestral hall couldn't nurture Zhu Tian into the strongest in every major domain. Have we arrived? I've been comprehending a mystical power these past few days. Su Yan used the space-time armor to suppress the boiling blood essence fluctuations in his body. He took a deep breath. He had been cultivating the subduing dragon formation staff for the past few days, and he had forgotten about the time. We have already entered the Fiend region. We will soon cross to the Fiend city. Kong Yuan said solemnly, Su Yan, you must act according to the circumstances. You must not be reckless. There is still more than 2 months before the convention begins. Don't worry, there will be a chance. I understand. Su Yan nodded. No matter what happened in the end, he could not implicate the giant star beasts. Once this matter was exposed, let alone the ancestral hall and the dark nether tribe, even the demon realm would not let the giant star beasts off easily. At the same time, Su Yan's divine soul also drifted out. The demon realm's star domain had exceeded his expectations. This vast star field was the gathering place of thousands of monsters. It had existed for a long time, and the entire star field was filled with an ancient and desolate aura. It was vast and deep and seemed to be boundless. He hadn't felt this way in the Big Dipper, the Z-Way segmentum, or even the Blood Realm. Only the demon realm seemed to have existed for millions of years, and exuded a rich historical aura. The demon region was very mysterious. Since ancient times, there had been a curse that said that the one who controlled the banners of demons was the master of the demon region, respected by all demons. At the end of every epoch, there would be an expert who controlled the banners of demons in the demon region. He would become the new master of the demon region and lead the demon region to glory and prosperity in each epoch of the universe. The demon region was powerful and glorious. It was a superpower that even the Ancestral Hall and the Dark Nether Tribe would not easily provoke. Even in the Chaos Ruins, the demon region was really powerful. After all, the demon region gathered all the monsters in the universe. It was equivalent to being the leader of all the races in the universe. Every time the master of the demon region appeared, all the monsters in the universe would return to their positions. That was the beginning of the most terrifying era of the demon region. This group of races was not to be underestimated, and they filled in the unknown mysteries of history. But now that the northern monsters had appeared, was the era of the demon region's supremacy coming early? It could be said that this matter was closely watched by all the peak races. In the next few months, the demon region would be the gathering place of the strong. It would be very lively. As for the Thousand Demon City, it was the strongest city in the demon region, and also the core of the demon region. From far away, Su Yin could already see this majestic ancient city. It stood tall in the starry sky, blazing and terrifying. Thousands of phantom images of giant beasts could be seen from it. It stretched open the heavens and exuded a peerless majesty. This city was filled with endless glory. Generations of masters of the demon region would guard this city. This was also the reason why, after so many years, the Thousand Demon City was like a heavenly palace hanging in the north of the universe. Its divine might was inviolable. What a Thousand Demon City! Su Yin felt suffocated. This city was filled with fluctuations that would cause even heavenly gods to tremble. It was much more terrifying than Bloodfield City. Its inheritance was too ancient. Inside the city, there were all sorts of terrifying light beams. These were the auras of the demon gods that filled the air. The Thousand Demon City shone brightly on the demon region. It was the most glorious place of the demon region. Outside this enormous city that stretched open the heavens, many battleships were docked. Without a doubt, these were the races that had come to participate in the Thousand Demon Gathering. Now, almost all of them were strong warriors of the demon region. This also showed their attitude, whether they acknowledged the North Demon or not. Since they had appeared, it was enough to show the deterrence of the North Demon bloodline. The giant star beast had no choice but to come early. The main reason was because of the giant star beast. The silver battleship quickly rushed towards the Thousand Demon City and stopped not far from the city gates. The two heavenly gods, Kong Qian and Kong Yuan, walked out together. Su Yin and the others followed closely behind. As soon as they came out of the battleship, countless powerful divine senses swept over. Among them was the will of the demon region's divine king. Every faction that came to participate in the gathering was recorded in a book. The giant star beasts have arrived to present a congratulatory gift to the North Demon Highness, the Divine King's domain space horn, Tenjin. These words caused the giant star beast to coldly snort. That space horn was the life horn of the Divine King of the giant star beasts. Tenjin of space horn's value was already very high. It was enough to forge a great killing weapon in the universe. It could even be used as a miraculous medicine. Of course, since the North Demon Highness was about to become the ruler of the demon region, Tenjin of Space Horn's congratulatory gift couldn't be considered expensive. Of course, it wasn't inferior either. It could be considered average. Haha, so it's the experts of the giant star beasts. Welcome, welcome. At the city gates of the Thousand Demon City, the experts of the demon race had gathered. The leaders of the various races stood here and chatted. Some of the experts of the demon race walked up to chat with Kong Yuan and the others, exchanging many polite words. There were even experts who recognized Kong Qian who went up to greet him. Seems like this must be my dear niece. Old brother Kong Qian already knew that a giant star beast was born in your race. Today's event is truly extraordinary. The giant star beast revealed her true form. The Thousand Demon City could be said to be the most glorious place of all the demons in the world. The various races of the demon region would usually reveal their true form when entering the city, showing their respect to the Thousand Demon City. The giant star beast's silver body was overflowing with light. She had a delicate appearance, like a silver Pegasus. The golden horn on her forehead shone brightly. Her large eyes shone with divine light. She walked up to greet respectfully. She didn't dare to slight an old senior who had a good relationship with the giant star beasts. Why is their race here? Some experts of the demon race were also suspicious. Previously, when the banners of demons first appeared, something big happened. Bao Kai and the others escaped. The giant star beast was with Bao Kai and the others, although this kind of thing could only be said to be insignificant to the northern demon race. The giant star beast status was very sensitive. They had previously joined forces with Hokuto to resist the Ancestral Hall and the Dark Nether race. If the Ancestral Hall really pursued this matter, this race would be in trouble. By relying on the northern demon race, they don't have to fear the Ancestral Hall and the Dark Nether race. Now that the demon region is about to welcome a golden age, these two races won't provoke us over such a small matter. Some experts of the demon race speculated. The surrounding people suddenly realized that this was very likely. Fellow Taoists, please come in. This isn't the place to talk. An expert of the northern demon race came to receive them. The demon region's grand meeting was about to begin. The forces of the various races that came now might very well become the troops under the northern demon race in the future. They didn't dare to slight any of the races that came with invitations. However, just as they arrived at the entrance of the Thousand Demon City, a bronze mirror hanging above the city gate lit up. It projected a boundless divine light that shone on Su Yin and Luo De Li. Su Yin and Luo De Li were already prepared. They released their powerful combat strength with the space-time secret treasures aura. These two, Shun Wei-Yin, who had a human face and a snake body, glanced at the Thousand Demon Realm. When he saw that there was nothing unusual about the Thousand Demon Realm, he looked at Su Yin and Luo De Li with a curious gaze. There was no doubt that they were experts of the human race. Their strength should be at the peak of the great Tao realm. Such people didn't take Shen Wei-Yin, who was in the heavenly god realm, to heart. The Thousand Demon Realm only had one special function, which was to identify the other party's race. In truth, the Thousand Demon City only welcomed the demon race. It didn't particularly welcome the other races. However, the grand meeting was about to begin. The Thousand Demon City also made an exception and allowed the experts of the various races to enter the Thousand Demon City. They wanted to see the current situation of the demon region and establish the prestige of the Northern Demon Venerable. They are battle generals recruited by the king beast of my race. Kong Qian suppressed the nervousness in his heart and laughed loudly. They have always admired the Thousand Demon City and even the Northern Demon Highness. The king beast brought them here so that they can see the glory of the Northern Demon race. If we break the rules of the Thousand Demon City, they could just go back. Haha, it's fine. Everyone who came as a guest, please leave. Shen Wei-Yin didn't take it to heart at all. The Northern Demon race also wanted to rope in the giant beasts of the starry sky. The ancestors of this race had been glorious, and the king beast of this race could very likely become a battle general under the Northern Demon race in the future. Fourth uncle, don't treat everyone as guests. They're just two battle generals. Were they? A domineering voice rang out, causing Kong Qian's expression to become very ugly. Moreover, at this critical juncture, he didn't want any trouble to happen. The surroundings were in chaos. Su Yin and Luo De Li's expressions didn't change. Then they saw a small but very muscular transvestite closing in on them. He had a human body, and his body was densely covered with golden scales. They were really like dragon scales, covering his entire body from top to bottom. Moreover, he had a head full of long red hair. The other parts of his body were no different from a human's. Su Yin felt strange. This transvestite didn't look very old, but his body was surging with vigorous blood essence fluctuations. His entire body was also spewing out a towering divine light. Even his pores couldn't control the blood essence fluctuations that leaked out. Even Li was a little stunned. How many good things did this transvestite eat to have such vigorous blood essence fluctuations? Su Yin was sure that this person's cultivation had only just entered the great Tao realm. However, his blood essence was definitely more vigorous than that of the giant beasts of the starry sky. It's little North Yao. The surroundings were in an uproar. Shunlei was North Yao's younger brother. His reputation couldn't compare to meeting him in person. His foundation was really terrifying, making the older generation blush with shame. He had eaten too many good things, and even his blood essence was flowing in reverse. North Yao's younger brother. This name was too shocking. Provoking him was equivalent to provoking North Yao. Shunlei, who had been pampered since young because of North Yao, had always been domineering in his actions. What right do you have to humiliate my general? The giant beast of the starry skies' eyes widened. Its silver body shone brightly like stars. He's so weak that I can slap him to death with a single slap. How can he be a general? Shunlei was very disdainful. The people in the surroundings didn't doubt Shunlei's words. His accumulation in the great Tao realm was really terrifying. Meanwhile, Kong Qian and Kong Yuan sneered in their hearts. If they really faced each other, Su Yin would probably be able to crush them 18 times with a single finger. Su Yin and Luo Li didn't say anything. They tried their best to conceal themselves and not cause trouble. And you, giant beast of the starry sky, what about the matter that I asked you to consider previously? Shunlei put his hands behind his back and raised his chin. He was very proud. He cast a sidelong glance at the giant beast of the starry sky and said, "Becoming my general is also the fortune of your 8 lifetimes. I can let you go to the 10,000 demon pool to awaken your ancestral power." Previously, the giant beast of the starry sky had come to the 10,000 demon city once. Shunlei had said this, but the giant beast of the starry sky had rejected him. This also caused the giant beast of the starry sky to lose its opportunity. The 10,000 demon pool was a cultivation holy land that the giant beast of the starry sky dreamed of. It could allow her battle prowess to soar and awaken the power of a beast of the starry sky. However, Shunlei had cut off her cultivation path. The giant beast of the starry sky hated Shunlei. Chapter 799. The last time the astral beasts brought their beast kings to the city of devils, they came for the 10,000 beast pool. The 10,000 beast pool was one of the most valuable treasures in the realm of devils. Since ancient times, all the powerful beings at the level of the divine king would leave their blood essence in the city of devils. Over time, the 10,000 beast pool became a place for the rising stars of the realm of devils to refine their bloodline. If the astral beast kings entered the 10,000 beast pool, they would be able to awaken their ancestral powers and recover part of their ancestors' power. In the future, the astral beast kings would be qualified to become the best of the younger generation, and their names would shake the universe. Unfortunately, Shunlei had cut off that path. He wanted the astral beast kings to become his mount. Knowing the astral beast kings' personalities, they would rather die than agree. Everyone was talking about it. The ancestors of the astral beasts were once powerful beings. They were once glorious, not to mention the fact that the astral beast kings could become his mount. The little North Spirit had suddenly become powerful, but he was still too weak compared to the little North Spirit. How could he tame the astral beast kings? Shunlei, shut up. Shun Weiyin glared at Shunlei and scolded. You are becoming more and more unruly. Don't you know what day it is today? Get down there. But Shunlei was angry. He was the little North Spirit's brother. What was so difficult about taming an astral beast kings? Besides, in the little North Spirit's eyes, even if the astral beast kings did not agree, they could just destroy the astral beasts. Shunlei was young, but there was a ruthless and cruel aura in him. He felt that there was nothing in the world that he could not get. This was the confidence that the little North Spirit gave him. Shut up. Shun Wei-yin scolded. The Astral Beast Kings are very powerful. They will not submit to you so easily. Besides, you asked her to become your mount in front of so many people. She will not agree. Get down there now. Do not ruin the Little North Spirit's plan. Shun Wei-yin mentioned the Little North Spirit. Shun Lei shrank back. He was afraid of the Little North Spirit. Just you wait. The Little North Spirit glared at the Astral Beast Kings and then left. This child. Shun Wei-yin shook his head slightly. Then, he smiled apologetically at Kong Yuan, who had an ugly look on his face. I'm sorry for making a fool of myself. Shun Lei is too young. Please don't take it to heart. As for the matter of the myriad demon pool, you can rest assured. I'll help the Beast King apply. I'm sure it will work this time. Then I'll have to trouble you. Kong Qian and Kong Yuan sighed in their hearts. They were not as strong as the others, so they did not say much. They could only endure their anger. Damn it! The Beast King of the Starry Sky cursed in its heart. According to the rules of the Monster Zone, any expert from the Monster Zone who was qualified to awaken ancestral power could enter the myriad demon pool to cultivate. In the past, their lineage had been one of the strongest lineages in the demon area. Although they had left the demon area, their ancestors had made great contributions to the demon area. So, it was reasonable for them to cultivate in the demon pool for a few days. Moreover, the lineage of the giant beasts of the Starry Sky had also paid a price. But now, Little North Demon had cut off her hopes of awakening her ancestral power with just one sentence. This made the Cosmic Beast King furious. The North Demon lineage's influence in the Monster Zone is not small. Suyin thought to himself, did they really think they were part of the primordial lineage? Brothers, don't take it to heart. We'll just have to wait and see. At this time, a faction that was on good terms with the giant beasts of the Starry Sky walked over and smiled bitterly. Their lineage was not very strong. They all wanted to curry favor with the North Demon lineage, hoping to climb up this big tree ahead of time. After all, if this event went smoothly, they would be able to fight for some resources in the future when the North Demon lineage ruled the Monster Zone. Now, many factions of the Monster Zone had arrived in the Demon City. Shun Wei-yin had arranged accommodation for them. There is no need to say much about the prosperity of the Demon City. It was a world that belonged to the cultivators of the Monster Zone. The city was bustling with noise and excitement. Many of the Monster Zone's clans gathered together to communicate. The North Demon lineage acted as the masters of the Monster Zone and was in charge of all kinds of matters. Night fell. Su Yin went out and searched the streets of the Demon City, hoping to hear something about Tai Baokai. However, it was strange. Everyone outside was talking about Tai Baokai and the banners of demons, but in the entire Demon City, this matter was like a taboo. No one talked about it. Su Yin caught on to this and thought to himself, this is a bit strange. Could it be that the Monster Zone's experts who support Baokai leaked this information? This is not a small possibility. This means that Baokai is very likely in the Monster Zone. Su Yin returned to his residence and talked to Kong Qian and the others. In the end, Kong Qian said, Su Yin, I think that even if Tai Baokai is still alive, he is not in the Demon City. He is in the Pure Land of the Monster Zone. Su Yin frowned. The Pure Land of the Monster Zone was equivalent to the ancestral court of the Ancestral Hall. However, ordinary people could not enter that place at all. Su Yin wanted to sneak in was as difficult as ascending to the heavens. Unless a universe Overlord force came, perhaps the North Demon lineage would lead them into the Monster Zone. Wait, we can only wait now. We can only find an opportunity to sneak into the Ancestral Court. We are not qualified to enter. Kong Qian said apologetically. Su Yin, don't mind me nagging. You must be careful and not put yourself in danger. As long as you are still alive, there will always be a chance in the future. Elder, what are you talking about? I'm already very grateful that you can bring me into the Demon City at this time. Su Yin smiled bitterly. Now, we can only wait for an opportunity. Since the Monster Zone is going to hold a meeting, the Monster Zone will open sooner or later. There will always be hope. Su Yin did not dare to act on his own now. His heart was heavy, and he knew nothing about the Monster Zone. Kong Qian and the others also knew very little. Su Yin felt that it was too difficult to find the Baokai in the monster zone. Su Yin tried to use the secret technique to drive the incomplete bronze cauldron, but he did not find any fluctuations related to the cauldron. If the Baokai is not in the ancestral court, then the Baokai is very likely. Su Yin clenched his fists. He hoped that this was not the worst. As long as the Baokai was still alive, he still had hope. He took a deep breath and calmed his mind. Time passed just like that. Although the days were very short, this kind of waiting was really too long. Su Yin also found it difficult to concentrate on comprehending the dragon subduing formation staff. Just like that, a month passed. Su Yin searched the entire demon city, but he could not find any traces of the Tai Baokai. A month was not long, but to Su Yin, who was in a hurry to find the Baokai, it was as if 10 years had passed. Su Yin knew very well that every day he wasted was related to the life and death of the Baokai. Bastard. In the boundless night, there was a faint snow-white lightning cutting through the sky. Su Yin's body surged with killing intent, but it was only a flash before it was forcefully suppressed by Su Yin. When Su Yin left the street, less than a breath had passed, and the darkness became even thicker. It was as if a huge monster was about to cross over from the top of the sky, crushing the nearby cultivators until they were suffocating and trembling. It was definitely a terrifying existence of a monster race that had quietly awakened because it had sensed the killing intent earlier. Su Yin was already very far away. He could already feel the terrifying aura of the guardian beast. This was definitely a divine king. Strange. However, this divine king monster beast was also suspicious. It had clearly sensed the killing intent earlier, but it could not find the source at all. The area it was in was the only way to the ancestral court of the monster realm. During this month, Su Yin searched the entire demon city and figured out the approximate location of the monster court. However, it was easier said than done to sneak in. Unless Su Yin cultivated to the 7th grade realm, there was no hope of breaking the protective formation here and crossing into the monster court. However, it was extremely difficult to cross this step. Su Yin estimated that only when he stepped into the divine realm would he have some hope of cultivating to the 7th grade realm. Right now, he was far from qualified to comprehend it. Su Yin returned to his room with a gloomy face. What should he do now? It was impossible to force his way in, and it was as difficult as ascending to the heavens. The time left for him was very limited. Now, in the demon city, experts and monsters gathered. The entire demon city was rippling with endless waves of ferocious energy. It could erupt at any time with the power to shatter mountains and split seas. The experts of the Northern Monster Clan who were in charge of organizing the event were beaming with joy every day. They felt that the era of the monster realm supremacy had really arrived. If all the major monster clans in the universe gathered here, they would form a terrifying force led by the Northern Monster Clan. When this day came, the Northern Monster Clan would also be the #1 monster clan in the monster realm. What an honor this would be. The next day, before the sun had even risen, a power that seemed to originate from the depths of the universe rushed toward the demon city, causing the demons in the city to seethe. All kinds of divine lights shot up into the sky, illuminating the entire demon city in a dazzling light. The entire monster realm's starry sky was illuminated by the light from the demon city, emitting a monstrous demonic aura. Boom! The starry sky outside the realm trembled violently. The sun, moon, and stars were all affected by a terrifying power and began to tremble. This aura even penetrated the demon city. The monsters all saw a figure walking in the starry sky. Each step he took was a world. He was very close to the demon city. Even if he deliberately suppressed his aura, the light of order that seeped out of his pores made the heavenly gods tremble. Their hands and feet turned cold. They felt as if the sky was falling and was going to crush them directly. Report, Lord Zhu Fu of the Ancestral Palace has arrived at the demon city. A voice spread throughout the demon city, causing the major monster clans to be extremely shocked. Zhu Fu, a half-step almighty, had personally come. It was enough to show the importance of the Monster Realms event. Zhu Fu actually came here. Su Yin rushed out of the house and rushed in the direction of the monster court. Ha ha ha, I didn't expect Senior Zhu Fu to come personally. My demon city is really honored. Waves of laughter also exploded and spread throughout the demon city. The voice was full of energy, accompanied by a vast fluctuation of blood essence. It soared into the sky and gathered into a huge shadow, revealing the vast power of the Divine King. This was the Divine King of the North. His aura was even more terrifying. The monster court that was hibernating in the demon city revealed a corner and released a power that suppressed the universe. It was boundless and terrifying. After all, the monster court was built by generations of experts in the monster realm. It was not inferior to the ancestral court of the ancestral palace. Just the manifestation of a corner of the world was like the hand of a supreme being in a monster realm, covering down and intimidating the monsters. I was passing by and came to take a look. Fellow Taoist, there's no need to be so polite. Zhu Fu wore a long white robe and crossed over. Although he was very old, he involuntarily released the light of order, causing the entire monster realm to tremble. Although he was not a mighty figure, he was only half a step away. He was unbelievably powerful. As for the monster court of the monster realm, it became more and more intense. Finally, the small universe spewed out endless demonic aura, converging into a golden path that extended into the starry sky. It was obvious that the North demons valued this event, using the power of the monster court to evolve a great Tao, allowing Zhu Fu to directly enter the monster court. This was the highest standard of etiquette. Even the Divine King was not qualified to be valued so highly by the monster realm. However, the moment the monster court's door opened, Su Yan's emotions surged. He used a special mystic technique to try to drive the incomplete bronze cauldron. He discovered that the cauldron's fluctuations were within the monster court. Chapter 800. The remnant cauldron's fluctuations ignited endless hope in Su Yan's heart. Since the remnant cauldron was inside the demon court, Tai Baokai must be inside too. Baokai must still be alive. Su Yan's hair danced wildly. His eyes were like lightning, and he really felt like rushing into the demon court. Calm down. There must be other ways to enter. As long as there's a chance, I can definitely enter the demon court. Baokai, you have to hold on. I'll be in soon. Hold on. Su Yan's breathing was heavy as he suppressed the impulse in his heart. Rushing in now was tantamount to courting death. How could the demon court of the demon territory be so easy to enter? Even if he really sneaked in, Su Yan did not know anything about the topographic map of the demon court. Tai Baokai was definitely in an important area of the demon court and was definitely guarded tightly. He could not find the destination just by talking about it. However, it was different with the remnant cauldron. Su Yan could follow the remnant cauldron's fluctuations and explore the demon court. As long as he could sneak into the demon court, nothing would be a problem. Su Yan quickly left the area. The God King of the Northern Demon Tribe had already stepped out of the demon court. He had the face of a human and the body of a snake. At first glance, he looked like a peerless demon and was filled with the aura of a powerful God King. It's Shun Xiaoming. The demon city was very lively. Shun Xiaoming was the ruler of the northern demons and also the ruler of the mixed bloodlines of humans and demons in the demon territory. The northern demons' current status could not have been achieved without the support of Shun Xiaoming and Li. Shun Xiaoming's status in the demon territory was very high. He walked out full of energy, cupped his hands, and laughed. Senior Zhu Fu, I didn't expect you to come personally. Junior Shun Xiaoming greets Senior Zhu Fu. I wish Senior Zhu Fu to step into the realm of mighty soon. After all, he was a half-step mighty figure and a representative of the ancestral hall. It was not surprising that Shun Xiaoming came to greet him. Haha, Shun Xiaoming, how can it be so easy to become a mighty figure? Zhu Fu stepped onto the golden path. Shun Xiaoming's words had put him in a good mood. He smiled and said, I've been sleeping for thousands of years, but I still couldn't find any solution. Shun Xiaoming, your potential is not bad. You have hopes of becoming a powerful existence in the future. Hearing this, Shun Xiaoming was pleasantly surprised. and he laughed heartily. Senior's words really scare me. At that time, Senior must give Junior some pointers so that Junior can listen to Senior Zufu's teachings. Some people frowned. Wasn't Shun Xiaoming treating himself too lowly? There were even some demon kings in the demon court who were dissatisfied. Zufu was powerful. However, he was only a half-step mighty figure. Wasn't Shun Xiaoming too good at currying favor with the Ancestral Hall? Could it be that he wanted the demon region and the Ancestral Hall to be tied to the same worship? Good. This round of flattery left Zhu Fu grinning from ear to ear. After all, Shun Xiaoming was a divine king. He nodded and said, "The demonic realm grand meeting is a gathering where all demonic beasts are respected. This old man also wishes to see the northern demonic realm and compare myself with my Zhu Tian." Wow. There was an uproar, and some people were stunned. Even the Star Beast Kings didn't know what to say. The news of Zhu Tian being killed by Su Yin had spread throughout the cultivation world. But now, Zhu Fu was saying that the northern demonic realm should compare themselves with Zhu Tian. A half-step mighty figure had said that. That was sufficient to prove that Zhu Tian wasn't dead at all and was still alive and well. Zhu Fu's words in the Demon City had shattered the fake news of Zhu Tian's death that had spread wildly throughout the world. Many people didn't dare to ask, and they didn't even dare to talk about Su Yin. Shun Xiaoming was only stunned for a moment before he laughed heartily. The Ancestral Hall's Zhu Tian was an invincible young powerhouse, a future Overlord expert. If my northern demonic realm could exchange blows with Zhu Tian, it would be the fortune of 3 lifetimes. That's self-enthusiasm. Zhu Fu was very proud, and then he sneered. Some time ago, there was a rumor in the universe that my Ancestral Hall Zhu Tian was killed by a little b** starred from the burial realm. At this point, the atmosphere suddenly fell silent. Crackle, crackle. Luo Dili clenched his fists, and his tiger-like eyes were wide open. How could he not know who Dao Zhu Fu was talking about? This made Luo Dili's heart ripple with anger. Since he had already recognized Su Yin as his big brother, he couldn't bear to listen to this. Su Yin had already returned. He patted Luo de Li's shoulder to calm him down. At the same time, Su Yin looked at Zhu Fu with cold eyes. In fact, Su Yin wasn't surprised that Zhu Tian wasn't dead. What a joke. My Ancestral Hall Zhu Tian was an invincible powerhouse for generations. A rising star from a small race from the burial realm wants to kill my Zhu Tian? Zhu Fu's words were to tell the world that Zhu Tian wasn't dead. He said coldly, when Zhu Tian came out of seclusion, it was only a clone that went to the Milky Way. It wasn't his true body. If his true body came, that little guy called Su Yin would have been killed long ago. He wouldn't be alive until now. It was just a clone, but a clone is so strong. The Demon City was in an uproar because many people bought the space-time jade slip of Su Yin and Zhu Tian's battle and watched the process of the battle. To be honest, Zhu Tian was already strong enough. However, Su Yin had only killed one of Zhu Tian's incarnations. This was a little terrifying. How strong was Zhu Tian? Senior Zhu Fu, you don't have to say. I understand. Shun Xiaoming smiled and said, back then, the northern demons watched the space-time recording stone of the battle and immediately determined that it wasn't the real Zhu Tian. The northern demons of the demon realm and Zhu Tian are experts of the same realm, so they naturally know how strong Zhu Tian is. How could a rising star from a defeated race defeat him? As for Su Yin, Shun Xiaoming sneered and said, he isn't on the same level as Zhu Tian or even the northern demons. What qualifications does he have to see Zhu Tian's true strength? A supreme is a supreme. Everyone below that is a general or a battle servant. He doesn't have the qualifications to be called a supreme. Shun Xiaoming's words were too unyielding. It made the experts of the same generation feel suffocated. In fact, until now, there hadn't been any battles between the peak of the younger generation. It was still unknown how strong Zhu Tian and the northern demons were. However, judging the younger generation by the standards of Supreme, there were bound to be a large number of geniuses that were overshadowed and reduced to a foil. This was an era that belonged to the younger generation. Any waves were just foils. The northern demons, the eastern demons, the western Buddhas, the southern emperors, and the ancestral palace's Zutian can all be called supreme. Someone exclaimed. After all, it was proven that the one who fought Su Yin back then was only Zhu Tian's clone. Then his real body strength was definitely at the level of a supreme. The ancestral palace's Zhu Tian had appeared and alarmed thousands of beasts. If his clone was so terrifying, how strong was his real body? Without a doubt, he was at the level of a supreme. I heard that Sun Dome of the Nine Yang sect had obtained the primal chaos flame. Once he fused with it, he could reach the divine realm. Then, Sun Dome would definitely be an expert of this realm. That's right. King Flash of the Divine Firmament Star area would definitely obtain something similar. Even if he couldn't obtain the strongest chi of origin in the world, he wouldn't be any weaker. After all, he's from a peak clan. Of course. I wonder what Feng Kuan of the Blood region would fuse with. They all have the foundation of a peak clan. They would definitely find the rare chi of origin and reach the divine realm. In the future, they would be qualified to enter the Divine King's realm. The Thousand Beast City was abuzz with discussions. They were talking about the young giants of the current generation. Some people sneered, speaking of which, Su Yan's strength is undeniable. However, he was born the wrong clan. The Burial Region clan can't provide him with strong chi of origin. They can't provide him with the resources to rise in the future. What's the point of talking about this now? The Burial Region clan is trapped in the Milky Way. This clan is destined to have no chance to compete for supremacy in the universe in the future. What awaits them is a pitiful ending. That's right. This clan has never had a chance to compete for supremacy in the past. However, the Ancestral Palace's forces in the Primal Chaos ruins control the universe's secret realms and even incomplete universes. There are inexhaustible treasures there. In the future, it will be the foundation for Zhu Tian and the others to grow. The Divine Realm was a long process of accumulation. It couldn't do without the nurturing of all kinds of miraculous items. The Primal Chaos ruins were enough to satisfy their growth. In the ultimate struggle, the influence of these clans was too great. Many people smiled bitterly. In the end, it was still the era of the peak clans. Even Madman Su couldn't kill his way out of the Milky Way. This was equivalent to cutting off their future path of cultivation. Then, what hope did they have? Could it be that only by becoming a general under their command and charging at the front lines would they have a chance to rise in the future? Thinking about it seriously, it really made them feel despair and suffocation. The deterrence of the peak clans was too frightening. Moreover, there were many giant forces in the Primal Chaos ruins. There were even the life-forbidden zones and the incomplete universes. Generations of Ingjia had walked out. When batches of young experts gathered in the Primal Chaos ruins and started a competition for fortune, 99% of them were destined to become foils. Only those who fought their way to the top had the qualifications to share in the fortune. At this time, Zhu Fu was whispering to Shen Xiaoming. Su Yan wanted to listen, but he couldn't hear anything. When they were talking, a terrifying pressure automatically filled the air. It blocked Su Yan's probing. Senior Zhu Fu, I heard that the Divine King of your clan was killed in the Blood Realm. Do you need the Demon Realm to send troops? Shen Xiaoming was very polite and lowered his attitude. He also knew that the Ancestral Hall had gathered a large number of experts in the Milky Way. They couldn't dispatch an army to sweep through a region. Hearing this, Zhu Fu's eyes flashed with a bone-piercing chill. Zhu Hongtu's death and the loss of the Black Heavenly Date and the Divine Medicine's essence had angered the entire Ancestral Hall. Otherwise, he wouldn't have come out of seclusion to the Blood Realm. But he couldn't find anything. This made Zhu Fu extremely angry. That's not necessary, Zhu Fu said with a cold face. This time, the Demon Realm sent a Divine King to the Ancestral Hall. Is there something important? Speaking of which, it has something to do with Su Yan. Shen Xiaoming's voice was very low. All kinds of Divine King waves gushed out of his body and suppressed the heaven and earth, preventing others from detecting the content of their conversation. Oh, Zufu was moved and listened carefully. Now that Senior Zufu is here, I'm relieved. My clan needs Senior Zufu to refine an evil creature with the heaven refining furnace secret technique. Shun Xiaoming's eyes flashed with coldness. The Tai Baokai was now imprisoned in the demon court's restricted area under the watch of the two divine king. In this blazing canyon, all kinds of terrifying earth vein fire were guided out and poured into a copper furnace. This was the heaven and earth furnace, a rare secret treasure of the demon realm. It burned fiercely, blurring the heaven and earth. 49 days have passed. Even the divine king would be turned into ashes if he came. But this creature still has signs of life. Chapter 801. Within the Fey Court's restricted area, the entire canyon was sealed off by various arrays. It was already listed as a forbidden zone of the Fey Court, and any trespassers would be killed without mercy. Within the canyon, raging flames burned the heavens. Not a single blade of grass grew, and the land was scorched. The entire small world was like a fiery world. All sorts of fiery beams surged. These were the flames of the earth veins. The flames drilled out of the ground and surged into the sky. At this moment, a terrifying divine king's aura was released, causing the entire small world to tremble. These were two divine kings, figures with great authority in the Fey Court. They were also the backers of the Northern Fey. The time taken exceeded our expectations. We spent too much time. I wonder if His Highness Daozu has invited the experts here. A gigantic heavenly pung was faintly discernible in the void. Its entire body was suffused with chaotic light. This was the divine king of the pung race, a famous figure in the Fey Court. The blood essence in its body circulated, causing the small world to tremble. It waved its golden claws, causing the earth veins to fill the sky and drill into the cauldron. This was the Qinquan cauldron. It had burned for 49 days, and even the divine king was about to be turned to ashes. However, the life trapped within the Qinquan cauldron was still alive. This caused the divine king to be moved. In the end, they decided to invite the experts of the ancestral hall to refine the Tai Baokai with the heavenly refining cauldron. If they didn't refine the Tai Baokai to death and take away the banners of demons, this Fey court meeting would become a huge joke. They're already here. The other divine king spoke. He opened his heavenly eye and looked at the Qinquan cauldron. The world within the cauldron was similar to the Qinquan world. It was vast and majestic, burning with all sorts of terrifying flames. The temperature inside was so high that it could even burn the divine king's body. After all, the Qinquan cauldron had burned for 49 days. The temperature inside was frighteningly high. However, there was still a living being in such a world. Although its skin had long been burned to a crisp, its body was charred black, and its face was indistinguishable. However, it was still alive. There was the sound of a heartbeat. Although it was very weak, it proved that it was still alive. The Baokai had been trapped in the furnace of heaven and earth for 49 days, which was too long for it. It was as long as a century. Every day, it had to endure the pain of being burned by the fire. It was really desperate. If it weren't for the banners of demons protecting its lifeline and the broken cauldron suppressing its soul, the Baokai wouldn't have been able to hold on until now. We can't get out. The Baokai was dizzy and could die at any moment. It was in despair now. The two divine king were guarding the cauldron, and the northern demons couldn't wait to refine it to death and take away the banners of demons. No one could save it. If the banners of demons had not merged with the Baokai, it would have been killed by the divine king a long time ago. There was no need for the divine king to train it with the furnace of heaven and earth. Valspawn, what are you still holding on for? Hand over the banners of demons as soon as possible. You don't have the right to control the banners of demons. The divine king of the rock race's cold voice came and exploded in the Tai Baotsai's soul. The banners of demons belong to the northern demons. If you repent now, you still have hope to follow the northern demons and redeem yourself. The voice kept echoing in the furnace of heaven and earth, but there was no response. The two divine kings were furious. Even if they couldn't kill the Tai Baokai, being burned for 49 days should be enough to make it surrender, right? But the Tai Baokai didn't give in. When the broken cauldron guarding the Baotsai's forehead trembled, the Baokai came back to its senses in a daze. But soon, it fell into a dead silence again. It was too tired, so tired that it could not think. Just moving its body slightly would cause the pain of its body and soul being destroyed. It felt that it was an illusion just now. This was the demon court. How could Su Yin sneak into the demon court's important rounds? Its body was still glowing. That was the power of the banners of demons. It suppressed the Baotsai's lifeline and resisted the endless flames burning it. The two divine kings' faces were gloomy. They had to admit that the banners of demons was amazing. If the northern demons got their hands on this item, they would be invincible. This item deserved to be called the Demon Court's #1 treasure. Banners of demons. Once the Northern Demon Highness takes control of the banners of demons, everything will be done. The era of the Northern Demons will come. The two divine kings said in a cold voice. They worked together to burn the Tai Baokai. In the demon city, Su Yin wanted to get closer and eavesdrop on the conversation between Zhu Fu and the others, but to no avail. What are they talking about? Su Yin frowned. Logically speaking, they didn't need to talk in secret. They could just communicate with their essence souls. However, even the half-step mighty figures were so cautious, afraid that outsiders would see through their secret conversation. This made Su Yin have a sharp intuition that perhaps they were targeting the Baokai. Su Yin was burning with anxiety. Since the Baokai was in the demon court, and there were only a month or two before the event began, he had to sneak into the demon court as soon as possible to carry out the rescue plan. Immediately after, Su Yin saw Zhu Fu and Shun Xiangming enter the demon court together. This made Su Yin feel even more anxious. He knew very well that the demon court in the ancestral hall was very important. Only the experts of the peak races were qualified to enter. The rest of the experts couldn't enter at all. The demon court was where the demons gathered. There was definitely a mighty figure overseeing it. It was impossible to sneak in. Even if the old leader tried to force his way in, he would most likely be forced to leave. Su Yin found Kong Qian and the others. When they learned that the Baokai was in the demon court, the Starry Sky Beast King was shocked. It was still alive. It's impossible for us to enter the demon court. Kong Yuan sighed. Su Yin, I think we should spread the news that the Tai Baokai is still alive. I believe that the Tai Baokai, who is now in charge of the banners of demons, will attract a group of old subordinates, such as the experts of the Golden Iron Bull race. They might force their way into the demon court to protect the Tai Baokai. Su Yin shook his head. If things reach this stage, the demon territory won't hand over the Tai Baokai at all. They will only kill it. The words "whoever obtains the banners of demons is the master of the demon territory" are enough for the northern demon race to do everything they can to cripple the Tai Baokai. Besides, those races won't be able to cause too much trouble in front of the demon court. They might even get themselves involved. Su Yin clenched his fists. Now, he could only wait. One wrong step, and he would be doomed eternally. No mistakes were allowed in this situation. Otherwise, the Baotsai's life would be in danger. Time passed day by day. These days were too long for Su Yin. More and more experts gathered in the demon city. All the races came with congratulatory gifts. It could be said that the demon city had become the most lively place in the universe. There was only a month left before the Demon Territory Conference began. During this month, all the peak races would appear one after another. The Northern Demon race was like the master of the Demon Territory, welcoming the experts from all the races. This race was really prosperous and glorious. They would continue to be glorious because of the Northern Demon race and finally stand at the peak of the Demon Territory. Now, the Northern Demon race had already regarded themselves as the supreme race of the Demon Territory. What astonishing space-time energy. It's coming from a distant place. I wonder which race's experts are coming. On this day, waves of vast space-time fluctuations spread out from the depths of the universe. Many experts looked and vaguely saw a grand path of chaos appear, emitting fluctuations that suppressed all living beings in the universe. A passageway formed from chaotic energy traversed through the universe, exuding boundless space-time fluctuations. It should be a space-time treasure awakening. The scene of the path of chaos opening caused a lot of discussion in the demon city. Boom! A dull explosion sounded, and a terrifying aura was released. Light shot into the sky, shaking the stars and moon. The chaotic aura was too rich and spectacular. At the end of the starry sky, a shadow appeared, like a sleeping chaos god fiend awakening. Is this a divine king or a half-step mighty figure? Many people were shocked. It was difficult to discern the person's combat strength. Just the chaotic aura that spread out from his body was like a chaos god fiend that opened the universe, releasing billions of layers of chaotic light. Even the heavenly gods were suffocating. The person who came was peerlessly powerful. His figure was tall and majestic, and he had a head full of purple hair. The aura of a god fiend was intimidating. Before he even reached the demon city, the demon court of the demon city once again revealed a huge image. Su Yin stood up because he saw a familiar face. Behind this demonic god was a group of young experts. Su Yin saw He Shungjia, Zixia Fairy, and the others. There was no doubt that they were from the Taoist temple. The arrival of the Tao temple caused an uproar among the races. After all, the Tao temple's position in the chaos ruins was too sacred and transcendent. Every time there was a struggle for supremacy, the Tao temple would appear and recruit disciples, nurturing the peak experts of the younger generation. Haha! Welcome the experts from the Tao temple. My demon city is truly honored by your presence. Honored by your presence. Shen Xiaoming laughed heartily as he led many northern demon experts to welcome them. The Tao temple is definitely here for the northern demon. That goes without saying. With the northern demon's potential, entering the Tao temple is too easy. Moreover, he controls the banners of demons. The Tao temple sent experts to invite the northern demon to cultivate in the Tao temple. Although the demon territory had accumulated a lot of resources, the Tao temple was different. They controlled many universe mystic realms, and even some incomplete universes. Once one entered the Tao temple, they would definitely receive endless resources. In the past, no young expert had ever rejected the Tao temple's invitation, especially someone like the northern demon. Once one entered the Tao temple, they would definitely receive many opportunities. Many young people were envious. Who wouldn't want to enter the Tao temple, let alone have experts from the Tao temple personally come and welcome them? If the northern demon enters the Tao temple in his current state, will you become this generation's eldest senior brother? As soon as this was said, the surrounding people didn't dare to speak rashly. Since ancient times, the Tao temple had included Yingjia, but who dared to claim to be number one in the Tao temple? Even the Supremes had to think twice about whether they could bear the consequences of having the entire world as their enemy. Who wouldn't want to be number one in this era? But who would dare to say that they were invincible? In any case, the arrival of the Tao temple caused the entire demon city to bustle with activity. Many of the older generation from the powerful clans came to curry favor with them, wanting to know when the Tao temple would be accepting disciples. Fairy Zixia and the others were also surrounded. The younger generation all came to greet them, their attitudes extremely respectful. Su Yin also hurried over. Without hesitation, he transmitted his voice. Fairy Zixia, I trust you've been well since we last met. You, the young and beautiful woman in purple clothes, was full of celestial aura and had an impressive figure. When she heard the voice, Fairy Zixia was slightly startled. She looked at Su Yin and transmitted her voice in shock. Su Yin, you're not dead yet. You actually survived the taboo. Who was the one who saved you? Chapter 802. Su Yin didn't expect to meet Zixia Fairy. Why would she say such a thing? When Su Yin and the others left the Milky Way galaxy, Zixia Fairy and the others had witnessed it with their own eyes. They knew very well what had happened to Su Yin. As for the taboo existence that she had mentioned, Su Yin was stunned. Could it be that Zixia Fairy knew who was targeting him? What is the taboo? Su Yin's eyes flashed with a cold light as he said, Back then, it was Qiu Ming who targeted me, but I was lucky enough to survive. Qiu Ming, this two-faced guy. It seems that he is not as kind as the rumors say. He would even target you. Zixia Fairy curled her lips and muttered in her heart. After all, someone like Qiu Ming had a very high status. He was almost on par with the mighty figures. In Qiu Ming's eyes, Su Yin was naturally weak and vulnerable. However, Qiu Ming actually targeted Su Yin. This really made Zixia Fairy a little speechless. It was like an adult bullying a baby. You don't know who is targeting you. Then Zixia Fairy transmitted her voice to Su Yin. But that's right. At your current level, how could you know about the taboo? Even the old antiques of our Taoist temple would pale at the mention of such an existence. Can you be more specific? Su Yin also wanted to know what kind of powerful figure could be called a taboo. This was a creature that couldn't be talked about. What I know is limited. This matter has been classified as top secret. Back then, the battle in the primal chaos ruins was truly frightening. All the major powers are keeping a very low profile. According to what I know, after the battle, all the major powers joined forces to investigate. The weakest among them was a divine king. Zixia Fairy transmitted her voice, and her voice was solemn. A mighty figure of the heavenly bamboo lineage was the first to rush in, but as far as I know, he died suddenly after returning. A mighty figure died suddenly? Is it true? Su Yan's eyes widened. He found it hard to believe. That was an almighty being. A mighty figure had died suddenly? Even after the war, this caused Su Yan to stand up. Goosebumps. What kind of expert was an almighty being? It wasn't something he could understand at all. But for an almighty to die silently? In fact, there was no way to prove whether he was dead or not. It was just a guess. What surprised Zixia Fairy the most was who had done it. What kind of ruthless person dared to attack the chaos ruins? That's my big brother, Su Yin shamelessly explained. Who are you trying to fool? Fairy Zixia didn't believe Su Yan's nonsense at all, but she still approached him and asked curiously, "Is what you said true? Which expert did it? Is he really related to the burial realm?" "I'm not human if I lie to you," Su Yin replied. "Who knows if you're a human or not? Maybe you're some other creature." Zixia Fairy muttered to herself, but she still continued to ask, "If he's really a powerhouse from the Zhongyu clan, then what about him?" "I'm not surprised. It's no wonder the major powers stopped fighting." "What's the taboo?" Su Yin asked. Fairy Zixia gently shook her head. Her purple robes fluttered in the wind, making her look like an immortal. She was elegant and refined. Her snow-white skin was shrouded in purple clouds, like a purple moon emitting clouds. She had the demeanor of a fairy. "I don't know. These aren't things we can touch. One day, when you step into a new realm, you'll see a different world." Zixia Fairy's words made Su Yin silent. Why were her words so similar to bamboo moons? They must know some secrets that others didn't know, but their own understanding was very limited. The reason was that their strength was limited, and they couldn't reach that level. That level was destined to be terrifying. Just the aftermath of a battle was enough to deter the major clans from acting rashly. So how strong were they? The slightest movement was enough to make the peak clans panic. I'm thinking, how strong is the temple master of the ancestral hall? Su Yin thought in his heart. He felt that he could only find the answer in the chaos ruins. Since the chaos ruins were related to the immortal star, there were many secrets hidden in the chaos ruins. If I go to the chaos ruins one day, will I be able to find a remaining territory of the immortal star, or even those terrible Taoist temples? Su Yin was also thinking. When he dreamed of the immortal star, he became a disciple of the great Tao masters to study Taoist skills. Although Su Yin didn't really go there, he still received the inheritance of the great Tao masters of the immortal star, and even the original Taoist seal of the immortal star. Zixia Fairy was still asking Su Yin about the young slaves. In fact, Su Yin also wanted to know, what was the Taoist temple? Was the purpose of its existence only to cultivate experts? Who is this fellow Taoist? Are you familiar with Zixia Fairy? Su Yin and Zixia Fairy were communicating via primordial spirit, which annoyed a young disciple of the Taoist temple. Zixia Fairy had many suitors, and he was one of them. He's my friend. Zixia Fairy knew Su Yan's purpose. Bringing Su Yan into the demon court was no problem at all. However, she felt that entering the demon court in Su Yan's condition was tantamount to suicide. Friend. The young disciple, who was wearing white and carrying a sword embryo, had a sharp face. He raised his sword-like eyebrows and said unkindly, "If you can become friends with Zixia Fairy, you must be strong. Why do you want to go to the Taoist temple?" He Shengjia, who was beside him, said, "Who doesn't want to go to the Taoist temple? However, there is no shortcut. If you want to go to the Taoist temple, you have to rely on your own abilities. When the Chaos Ruins open, if you can make a good ranking in the Chaos Tower, there is still some hope." The onlookers all sighed. They couldn't even get the Stone Tower's imprint, let alone make a name for themselves in the Chaos Tower. The Chaos Tower was like a super training ground. If they could make a good ranking in the Chaos Tower, it would be enough to prove their combat strength. When the time came, they would definitely be the first to be recruited and befriended by the major forces. When will the Chaos Tower appear? Su Yan was curious. Hearing this, He Shengjia and the others were stunned. These people had strange expressions. They were just casually saying it. This guy wouldn't really go, right? The man with the sword embryo on his back sneered, "Fellow Taoist, trespassing into the Primal Chaos Pagoda will result in death. The number of past challengers who have died in the Primal Chaos Pagoda is uncountable. I have to remind you, don't act on impulse." Su Yan frowned. Was he treating him as a love rival? "Ji, are you looking down on my friend?" Zixia Fairy snorted. "You talk too much. Have you forgotten about this mission? I didn't say anything. I'm just reminding him out of kindness." And Ji was annoyed. The sword embryo on his back trembled faintly, quietly revealing its strength. It was as if a terrifying sword embryo was about to come out of its body, wanting to cut open the heavens. Everyone's faces turned pale. Zixia Fairy and the others looked ordinary, but when they showed a little of their strength, it made them feel like their bodies were about to split open. If they really burst out with their full strength, how strong would their combat strength be? The Taoist temple is really a place of hidden dragons and crouching tigers. The older generation was moved. Any random disciple had the battle strength of a king of their generation. The Taoist temple was really not to be underestimated. "Fellow Taoists, I'm little brother North Yao." The young little North Yao came. Although he was young, his body was full of vitality. He walked over to greet them. "I've already set up a banquet in the Yao court. Fellow Taoists, please come with me to attend the banquet." "Little North Yao." Zixia Fairy's eyes sparkled. She walked over and smiled. "It said that little North Yao is almost invincible. Do you think it's true?" The surrounding atmosphere suddenly fell silent. Shenlei's eyes almost popped out of their sockets when he saw this smiling face in front of him. He replied in a daze, "Fairy, you're right. My brother is about to obtain the banners of demons. He'll definitely be invincible." The surrounding atmosphere was a bit strange. Could it be that little North Yao hadn't obtained the banners of demons yet? Su Yan was even more shocked. He clenched his fists. Shenlei's words were too important to Su Yan. Once little North Yao obtained the banners of demons, it meant that Bao Kai was not far from death. Shenlei's guards hurriedly pulled him away. Shenlei, who was still young, was instantly annoyed. "What are you doing? Unruly things. Can't you see that I'm talking to a fairy? Move aside." The group of guards' faces darkened. Shenlei was still too young, and he had accidentally leaked important information. "You're right. If he obtains the banners of demons, he'll be respected by all in the demon realm." Zixia Fairy giggled. Shenlei's soul was almost hooked by this fairy-like fairy. He looked at Zixia Fairy in a daze. "Little North Yao, you have unlimited potential in the future." Zixia Fairy took the initiative to move closer. She smiled and said, "Rumor has it that little North Yao has fused with a terrifying origin energy. It's said that it's the origin energy of some divine herb. He's born with unlimited magic power." "Haha, Sister Fairy, you don't know. My brother's origin energy is from the demon realm." In ancient times, as Shenlei spoke, Shen Xiaoming's angry voice exploded in his mind. Shen Xiaoming was really angry. How could he leak the origin energy of little North Yao's origin energy? After all, this was related to Little North Yao's strength. Up until now, no one knew what kind of origin energy the strongest person of each peak clan had fused with. However, the rumor that Little North Yao had fused with a divine herb's origin energy was not true. It was another origin energy. Could it be that it was also one of the strongest substances in the world? If that was the case, Little North Yao was really terrifying. He had unlimited resources, and he had obtained the banners of demons. He was practically the future Lord of Demons. So what if I know? Shen Xiaoming laughed coldly in his heart. That evil creature won't be able to hold on for much longer. Zhu Fu will personally use the heaven refining furnace to refine it. He will definitely be able to refine the Tai Baokai to death. Once Little North Yao obtains the banners of demons, he can completely recultivate to the Great Dao realm. At that time, my clan Zhu Tian will definitely be invincible. Shen Xiaoming was excited just thinking about it. When that day came, Little North Yao would directly become the most terrifying young powerhouse in the universe. Their Shen family would also completely become the most powerful clan in the demon realm. The Great Dao realm could be recultivated? No one would believe this if they said it out loud. However, the demon realm had such a rare and miraculous medicine. It was a peerless treasure that originated from an incomplete universe. This substance could completely allow Little North Yao to recultivate to the Great Dao realm. With the inheritance of the banners of demons, Little North Yao could be reborn from the ashes and cultivate to an unimaginable realm. They felt that this day would come very soon. Chapter 803. Shenlei also realized that he had misspoken and hurriedly corrected himself. He said hurriedly, "My brother will come out of seclusion soon. The demon court has already begun to prepare for the banquet. Everyone, follow me. Perhaps my brother will attend the banquet. Then this trip was truly worth it. When the time comes, I also want to see the Northern Yao splendor. This is truly a rare event." He Xingjie and the others laughed. They were also full of questions. After all, everyone wanted to know how strong the North Yao was. "Good job with the soul seduction technique," Su Yin praised. "Little Taoist." Fairy Zixia smiled proudly. Her purple dress fluttered in the wind. She looked like an immortal. Her smile was really mesmerizing. Little North Yao was mesmerized again. Shen Xiaoming didn't say much. Fairy Zixia was a disciple of the Dao Temple. As far as he knew, Fairy Zixia had a high status in the Dao Temple. However, Shen Xiaoming still emphasized that Shenlei shouldn't reveal too much about the North Yao's cultivation. Shenlei replied absent-mindedly, "She's really a femme fatale." Su Yin muttered in his heart. He sent a voice transmission. "Thank you for your concern, Sister Fairy. Don't flatter me. Kid, are you really going? Do you know what you're doing?" Fairy Zixia frowned and sent a voice transmission. "I don't recommend you go. It's too dangerous, and it's related to the banners of demons. Aren't you afraid that the entire demon court will target you and tear you to pieces? You still have a long way to go. Sooner or later, you'll become strong. Why take the risk now? You'll die." Although she knew about the relationship between Su Yin and Tai Baokai, saving Tai Baokai was harder than ascending to the heavens. To put it bluntly, even the old leader of the demon court might not succeed. Once things got to that point, the demon court would go crazy against the demon court. Su Yin was silent for a moment. He sent a voice transmission. "Scared? How can I not be scared? I'm scared to death, but my brother is still alive. How can I back down? Good job, Su Yin. You're a man. I really didn't misjudge you." Fairy Zixia was a lively girl. She sent him a voice transmission and giggled. "Since you've made up your mind, I won't say anything more. If you need any help, just let me know. I'm also looking forward to the Demon Realm's grand meeting. I wonder if it will go smoothly. They won't have a smooth journey, but I will. We will all return home safely." Su Yan's eyes were cold as he tried to calm himself down. He and Luo, Li had successfully blended into the team. Fairy Zixia was worried that he Shengjie and the others would target Su Yin, so she had specially invited a group of young people to join them. Just like that, a group of people entered the demon court in a grandiose manner, causing some people to be envious. Su Yin wouldn't just like that. Just how confident is he? Kong Qian was extremely worried. I don't know how confident he is, but Su Yan's courage is too great. As long as Su Yan doesn't die, he will definitely rise in the future and shake the world. Kong Yuan had a trace of respect for Su Yan. He said, "Let's wait here. The banners of demons are respected by all demons. I don't believe that the Baokai will die so easily." That's right. How can a master of the demon realm be so easily obtained? Without experiencing some great storms, how can he lead the demon realm to glory? If this curse really came true in the future, they really hoped that the future master of the demon realm would lead the demon realm to glory. However, from the bottom of their hearts, they didn't recognize the North demons as a mixed race of humans and demons. Boom! Inside the demon city, waves surged into the sky. The vast demonic aura filled the air. It was so heavy that the cultivators present trembled. A sense of reverence rose in their hearts. The opening of the demon court was shocking. An ancient door in front of them rumbled. It had been passed down in the demon court for a long time, no less than 1,000,000 years. When it fully bloomed, it revealed billions of ferocious phantoms and released boundless divine light. Su Yan opened his heavenly eye to look. The door of the demon court opened, as if it existed in another time and space. To be precise, it was the door of 10,000 demons. It was as majestic as a heavenly gate. This is a terrifying treasure. It's the only door to the demon court. Su Yan was moved. This door was quite domineering. It was fully bloomed, like a passage paved with the bones of 10,000 demons. All kinds of prehistoric, ferocious auras appeared. Su Yan and the others rushed toward the door. This path was like a river of time and space that led to another universe. There was no doubt that the demon court was a unique small universe. If one really entered it, it was like entering a big world that belonged to the demon realm. The mountains were magnificent, the waves were undulating, and the demonic aura was billowing. This was the demon court. He Shungjie and the others were moved. As expected of a peak clan, the demon court was really magnificent. It was full of the supreme ancestral power of the demon realm. The aura it emitted was suffocating to the experts of the other clans. After all, it was a world that belonged to the demon realm. Sister Zixia, look, this is our demon realm's ancestral court. As Shunlei proudly introduced Fairy Zixia, he was respectful and reverent to her, as if he was her lackey. Not bad, not bad. The scenery here is very beautiful. When the time comes, you could take me around for a walk, Zixia Fairy said with a smile. Shunlei was so excited that he almost jumped up. He laughed and said, Of course, of course. Sister Zixia Fairy, if you have anything to tell me, just tell me. There's nothing in the demon court that I can't do. Su Yan winked at the beast of starry sky. The beast of starry sky seemed to be honest. Its big red coral eyes were shining. It shook its big head and made an intimate gesture to Zixia Fairy. Su Yan was stunned. This beast of starry sky had learned how to flatter. But Zixia Fairy's fairy-like appearance really made people want to get close to her. Good boy. Zixia Fairy waved her hand and stroked the beast of starry sky's head with a beautiful smile. Zixia Fairy's smile made Shun Lei's heart tremble. He felt that the scene in front of him was too sacred. He said hot-headed, Is the beast of starry sky following Sister Zixia Fairy? She's just passable. Zixia Fairy's expression was a little gloomy. Unfortunately, she's a little weak. I'm afraid she can't follow me to the Taoist temple. But little North Demon, you're furthering your studies. Going to the Taoist temple shouldn't be a problem. Fairy Zixia's few words had made Shun Lei extremely proud. He said, Leave the problem of the king beast to me. I will immediately arrange for her to enter the 10,000 demons pool to cultivate. When the time comes, she will definitely be able to follow you to the Taoist temple. Luo Dili scratched his head, speechless. That's it. The beast of starry sky roared excitedly, shook its head, and rubbed Zixia Fairy's big white legs. This made Zixia Fairy feel a little disgusted. She muttered in her heart, I'm a woman, okay? This beast of starry sky is also female. Congratulations, Zixia Fairy, for obtaining a mount, and Ji ran over to curry favor. He took out some precious treasures and gave them to the beast of starry sky. Su Yin winked at Luo Dali. Luo Dali walked over in a daze and gave some precious medicine. Mother of asterisk her, how dare you steal my woman? Shen Lei's eyes turned red, and his chest heaved violently. Seeing Zixia Fairy thanking them warmly, he was furious. This was his territory. Who dared to make things difficult for him? The beast of starry sky was dumbfounded. She got so many good things for no reason. She excitedly rubbed Zixia Fairy's long legs again. Zixia Fairy's face darkened. She was going to teach the beast of starry sky a lesson later. Suddenly, waves of terrifying starry sky energy spread out. He Xingjia and the others were shocked. They all looked into the distance. The little North Demon took out an item. It was a bee skin that didn't look good, but it was filled with terrifying starry sky energy. This light golden bee skin was like a vast starry sky pressing down on this place. It covered heaven and earth, and it suppressed the world until it was dark. Not good. The little North Demon's guards were shocked. They wanted to stop it, but it was too late. They cursed in their hearts. Wastrel, the little North Demon, was very generous. He directly gave this item to the beast of starry sky. This is... Zixia Fairy pretended to be very excited. Her eyes lit up. Beast skin of starry sky. It's just a small gift. Shen Lei's heart was bleeding, but he still pretended that it wasn't a big deal. He just wanted to make the beauty smile. He Xingjia and the others had strange expressions. The value of this item was too shocking. It was infinitely close to a supreme being's holy weapon. It was also a life-saving item. Even the divine king couldn't afford it, but he gave it away. This thing was given to Shen Lei by the North Demon to protect himself. Now, he was generously giving it to Fairy Xia's mount. He was really rich and overbearing. Femme fatale. Su Yin sighed again and again. He told Luo Li to be careful of beautiful and charming women in the future. The beast of starry sky was so excited that she wanted to roar. She was very excited because this was a beast skin shed by the beast of starry sky. And it was a beast of starry sky that was about to evolve into a supreme being. Its value was unimaginable. This item was very helpful to the beast of starry sky. This secret treasure could only be used when it returned to the beast of starry sky. At this moment, Shen Xiangming, who was at the level of the divine king, rushed over like a madman. But it was too late. He really wanted to beat Shen Lei up. F***, this kid is cheating me. This item was also very valuable to the little North Demon. He had given it to Shen Lei to protect himself, but now he was giving it away, and a mount at that. The beast of starry sky had become the winner in this farce. Shen Xiangming was really afraid that Shen Lei would give away something even more valuable, so he just wandered around the periphery of the demon court. His main goal was to find out about the current situation of the Tao Temple. Found it. It should be no less than 1,000,000 miles away. Su Yin secretly activated the broken cauldron and found traces of it. It was about 1,000,000 miles away. The destination was definitely an important place in the demon court. This place was heavily guarded. Even an ant couldn't get in. There were powerful demon court cultivators guarding this place. In the central area, in this canyon, there were all kinds of killing arrays in operation. But there was also a shocking aura that made the sun and moon tremble. This was definitely Zhu Fu's aura. Shen Xiangming promised that he would give the cosmic furnace to Zhu Fu after everything was done. Although the cosmic furnace was just a replica, Zhu Fu would definitely refine it slightly. It would definitely be a protective treasure, especially the current cosmic furnace. Under the activation of Zhu Fu's heaven refining cauldron secret technique, once the cauldron burned, the world would explode. The temperature was terrifying. The bout-sized, despairing howls could be heard frequently. It really felt like it was about to melt and leave this world forever. It's about to die. With Senior Zhu Fu personally taking action, this evil creature won't live for long. The cosmic furnace was enough to incinerate the divine king. Now, the cosmic furnace's divine might had reached a new level. The Baokai in the furnace was already burned to skin and bones. Its charred body was shrinking by the day. Zufu was confident that he could reduce the Baokai to ashes in 10 days and 10 nights. Ha ha! Complacent laughter echoed in the burning world. Great things were about to happen. The era of the Little North Demons was about to arrive. Chapter 804. In the world of the Demon Court, clouds surged and waves rose and fell. Some powerful beasts looked at Su Yin and the others, and there were also rare, ferocious birds flying across the sky. This was a world that belonged to the demons, and there were often waves of terrifying divine beast auras that wanted to shatter the rivers and mountains. Huge mountains stood between heaven and earth, majestic and heavy. Inside the mountain gates and cave abodes, the auras of various primordial beasts surged. This was only the outer world of the demon court, but it was already magnificent enough. Su Yin and the others browsed around and admired the scenery of the demon court. After all, most of them were disciples of the Tao Temple, and the people who came to accompany them were all extraordinary geniuses of the demon realm. Su Yan's aura became more and more stable, and his spiritual perception was raised to the extreme. It was as if he had merged with the entire demon realm, and his body involuntarily released wisps of dragon and tiger auras. What was this? This was the great Tao of dragon and tiger. Back then, Su Yin had dreamed of returning to the immortal planet and became the disciple of the dragon and tiger holy man to study Taoist techniques. He had cultivated the great Tao of dragon and tiger. The dragon and tiger holy man had fused countless demon sects' mystic arts and secret techniques and had mastered them. He had evolved the great Tao of dragon and tiger, and his offensive power was unparalleled. Su Yin cultivated 10,000 Taos and gathered them in the inner universe. Now, under the influence of the demon court, he could not help but release the mysteries of dragon and tiger. This also caused Su Yan's compatibility with the demon court world to increase infinitely. His spiritual perception was raised to the extreme, and outsiders who did not know would think that he was a demon cultivator. Su Yan's aura was calm. At this moment, he had already sensed that there were eyes staring at them in the dark. It should be the experts of the demon realm who were secretly paying attention, causing Su Yin to be vigilant. No matter what happened, he could not act on his own. Let's wait. Since they were already here and were infinitely close to their destination, Su Yan's heart calmed down. He was constantly blending with the demon court and sensing the terror and prosperity of the demon court. Su Yin sighed. If he wanted to stir up trouble in this world, even the divine king was not qualified. He was also thinking about how strong the ancestral court was in the era of the burial realm's prosperity. As the night deepened, they waited for the darkness to come. The atmosphere of the entire demon court was completely different. The starlight and moonlight that filled the sky descended like the Milky Way from the 9 heavens, causing the entire demon court world to be filled with demons dancing wildly. The scene was monstrous. Roar. The roars of beasts resounded in the mountains and valleys, causing the world of the demon court to tremble and the endless mountains to shake. Subsequently, one after another, shadows that could swallow the stars appeared, swallowing the moon and swallowing the moonlight and starlight in the sky. There were also powerful and ferocious waves that spread out from the depths of the demon court. Even from a million miles away, they could sense the destructive scene. At night, the demonic aura of the demon court surged into the heavens and was extremely terrifying. He Xingjie and the other Yingjie from the Taoist church were all shocked. It was as if a prehistoric age was pressing down on them, causing them to feel suffocated and tremble. Goosebumps rose all over their bodies. This was the feeling of a sheep entering the mouth of a tiger. Without a doubt, the demon court was too powerful. It was a place where experts gathered. All kinds of terrifying energy bodies made their hearts tremble. However, at this moment, they all recalled the old leader who had started a massacre in the ancestral court. The ancestral court was definitely stronger than the demon court, but the old leader had killed his way into the ancestral court alone, destroying a large area of territory and killing countless geniuses. He had even retreated unscathed and killed a mighty figure. What kind of grace and power was that? It made their hearts tremble when they thought about it. A mighty figure was too powerful. They could only look up to him at this realm. Even the supreme beings were the same. There was no doubt that a mighty figure was powerful. Among the billions of geniuses in the past, it was already not bad for one mighty figure to stand out. As expected of the peak races of the demon realm, He Shungjie and the others' praises made Shun Lei and the others laugh. The experts of the northern demon race were especially proud. After all, in a period of time, the northern demon race would become the ruler of the demon realm. That kind of power and glory was truly terrifying. The northern demon race would definitely become the most terrifying expert of their generation. Young people should strive harder. Fairy Zixia shook her head slightly. The northern demon race was too anxious. With his current strength and age, even if he had all this in advance, he would still be envied by the world. Wouldn't he get lost in it? At this time, Shun Xiaoming brought in Ji and the others to the palace that had been arranged. As for the banquet, they would wait for the northern demon race to come out of seclusion and hold it together with them. Anyway, they were not in a hurry. At that time, Yingjie from other peak races would definitely come to the demon realm. Kid, behave yourself. Don't go out for a few days. Fairy Zixia was still worried. She gave Su Yin something and said in a deep voice, "Just treat it as an investment from me. Remember, you owe me a favor. In the future, you will have to exchange your life for mine." This is Su Yin solemnly accepted it. He slightly understood the contents, and his heart was in turmoil. 1 Qi into 3 pure ones? Su Yin was really taken aback by the opening of the book. Qi transforming into 3 pure ones was a magical secret technique in Earth's mythology. However, the secret technique that Zixia Fairy had taught him was called Qi transforming into 3 pure ones. You know about 1 Qi into 3 pure ones? Fairy Zixia suspiciously glanced at Su Yin and asked in an uncertain tone, "Have you mastered this secret art?" "No, I've only heard of 1 Qi into 3 pure ones." Su Yin shook his head and asked, "Is this a secret art of your Taoist temple?" Hearing this, Fairy Zixia was slightly disappointed. Then she said softly, "No wonder. After all, you're a member of the burial realm. I'm not surprised that you know about the 1 Qi into 3 pure ones. The origin of this divine power is very ancient. Some people call it one of the 9 strongest divine powers in history. One of the 9 strongest divine secret arts in history?" Su Yan's eyes widened. He was really shocked. After all, the origin of these divine secret arts was too amazing. It turned out to be one of the 9 strongest divine secret arts in history. 1 Qi into 3 pure ones. Among the 9 strongest divine secret arts in history, Su Yin had mastered one of the initial punches. However, with Su Yan's current combat strength, it was impossible for him to use the most powerful initial punches. Su Yan's cultivation had to be strong enough. The initial punches would grow with Su Yan's growth. For example, only the divine realm was qualified to cultivate the sky-subduing staff formation. At Su Yan's level, even if he mastered the strongest divine secret art in history, he would not be able to burst out its charm in its heyday. Only if he was strong enough could he use this secret art. The initial punches that Su Yin had mastered were the seeds of a divine secret art. It would grow with Su Yin and eventually become a big tree. Su Yin had also learned the ancestral phoenix secret art, but unfortunately, it was only a fragment. Don't think that this is the strongest divine secret art in history. 1 Qi into 3 pure ones. Fairy Zixia sent a voice transmission to Su Yin. I've read a detailed description of 1 Qi into 3 pure ones in the ancient books of the Taoist temple. It is said that once this divine secret art is evolved, 1 will turn into 3, and the 3 incarnations will have the strongest strength of the original body. If this divine secret art were to be spread, it would really scare people to death. Cultivating 1 Qi into 3 pure ones was equivalent to cultivating 3 Su Yans to attack the enemy at the same time. It was hard to imagine how heaven-defying it was. Su Yan swallowed. This was too heaven-defying. If he could master this secret art, he would be invincible in the world. What I'm giving you is a simplified version of the secret art. It will only have 50% of your original body's combat strength, and it will cause a great loss to your original body. Fairy Zixia put her hands behind her back and said proudly, "This secret art is called the primary body. It is a secret art in our Taoist temple, and it is extremely powerful. It is very powerful. It is equivalent to having half an extra life." Su Yan was moved. He asked again, "Does your Taoist temple have the most powerful divine secret art in history?" "Of course not." Fairy Zixia hesitated for a moment and said regretfully, "Too many divine secret arts in history have been lost. Our Taoist temple does have the one Qi into 3 pure ones, but it is only an incomplete version. If it was the complete version, the North Demon and the others would have gone to the Taoist temple long ago. The most powerful divine secret art in history. Each of the 9 great divine secret arts is created by heaven and earth. Cultivating one of them will give one an invincible secret art in the future. I wonder if there is anyone in the world who can cultivate all 9 of them?" Fairy Zixia was just sighing. It was simply impossible. Although the Taoist temple only had an incomplete version of the one Qi into 3 pure ones, it was not something that ordinary people could cultivate. Moreover, the incomplete version was flawed. It only had 80% to 90% of the original body's combat strength. But this was already heaven-defying. If you enter the Taoist temple one day, you may be qualified to cultivate the one Qi into 3 pure ones. But this is also very difficult. Not all disciples are qualified to cultivate it. Only those who have earned their prestige can cultivate this incomplete version. Even 80% to 90% of his combat strength was enough for him to go out and adventure with his clone. Leaving his original body in the Taoist temple was equivalent to having an extra life. Let me tell you one more thing. The ancestral hall should also have an incomplete version. Fairy Zixia's eyes were burning as she said in a low voice, "It's probably not the same fragment as the one in our Taoist temple. If you kill Zhu Tian in the future, give me the fragment as a form of repayment." Su Yan's face darkened, but his heart was burning. Could the Taoist temple's incomplete version and the ancestral hall's incomplete version be the complete version? Sai, I'm just saying. Don't take it seriously. Zhu Tian's strength is unquestionable. He's an invincible young giant in every epic. Even if you really defeat him, it's basically impossible to kill him. As Fairy Zixia spoke, she realized that Su Yan was staring at her. "Kid, what's wrong with your eyes? Are you asking for a beating?" Fairy Zixia's body glowed with brilliant light. Her snow-white figure was like a great path, immortal cave, spewing terrifying light. "I'm wondering if you are an incarnation of the one Qi into 3 pure ones." Su Yan laughed. "Boring. I'm not playing with you anymore." Fairy Zixia turned into a wisp of green smoke and disappeared. This surprised Su Yan. Could it be that she was right? If this was just an incarnation of Fairy Zixia, then how strong was her original body? Su Yan could not help but laugh as he took out the origin body secret technique and carefully studied it. After reading until midnight, Su Yan was more confident in his plan to rescue Bao Kai. After all, he didn't need to put himself in danger. Even if he did encounter danger, he could just give up on this incarnation. Of course, he couldn't give up unless it was a critical moment. Otherwise, he would alert the enemy. Su Yan handed the secret technique to Luo Da Li to study. Then Su Yan sat cross-legged and murmured in his heart, "Find out the exact whereabouts of Bao Kai. I have to take action as soon as possible." Su Yan's figure was a little blurry. He used the incomplete cauldron technique to communicate with the incomplete cauldron millions of miles away. At the same time, he used the power of the Sutra of the Future to pierce through time and space and silently rush to his destination. With the power of the Sutra of the Future, coupled with Su Yan's mastery of strange secret techniques, he could deceive everyone and become one with the world of the demon court. Even the Divine King wouldn't be able to detect Su Yan's subtle primordial spirit fluctuations. Just like that, Su Yan's divine will fluctuations were getting closer and closer to the source. Chapter 805. At night, the world of the demon court was turbulent, and a storm was coming. Groups of demons appeared, and beasts roared, shaking the mountains and rivers. Demon cultivators breathed in the essence of the sun and moon, and there were also powerful figures who breathed in the power of the universe. The scene in the demon court was too majestic, and the foreign cultivators were all in awe. This was a world that belonged to thousands of demons, and the auras of all kinds of beasts appeared frequently, covering the mountains and the earth. Although this era of the universe had yet to reach the era where thousands of demons reigned supreme, the demon court was powerful enough, and there were many experts who supported the North demons. But how could the leader of a group of demons be so easily ascended? Moreover, the North demons were still young, and it was difficult for them to convince the masses. Especially after Baokai appeared, taking out the banners of demons for the first time, many old demon gods expressed their attitude and wanted to give Baokai a relatively fair competition. Unfortunately, Baokai had already been suppressed, and Baocai's prison was heavily guarded. Wanting to take Baokai away was as difficult as ascending to the heavens. In this terrifying demon Dao world, Su Yan was like a small boat in the ocean, and the further he flew, the more difficult it was to fly. Although Su Yan's primordial spirit had cultivated to the void refinement and Dao integration stage, it was still difficult for Su Yan to fly across millions of miles. Fortunately, he was proficient in mystic arts and was able to merge with the forces of heaven and earth. Borrowing the forces of heaven and earth, he was able to save a lot of energy. Su Yan's primordial spirit traveled for 4 hours, and Su Yan was less than 5,000 miles away from his destination. But when he really reached this place, Su Yan became even more cautious. There were too many people guarding this place, and many powerful cultivators and demon experts were constantly looking around with vigilant eyes to prevent anyone from trespassing. I'm almost there. Su Yan approached his destination, and time passed by slowly. When he was 1,000 miles away from his destination, Su Yan did not dare to go any further, because the Divine King's Divine was constantly sweeping the area. If he was discovered, all his efforts would be wasted. Earth escape. Su Yan suddenly disappeared and burrowed into the ground. Very soon, he discovered that the temperature underground was extremely high. He speculated that the place in front of him should be the gathering place of the earth vein fire source. Su Yan dived for over 1,000 miles before his primordial spirit power was greatly reduced. After all, it was impossible for the Divine King to search this area with all his might. As long as he was careful, he shouldn't be discovered. Yes, there's a spiritual vein below. Su Yan's heart was filled with astonishment. It was as if there was an underground river that was winding and intersecting with each other, stretching for tens of thousands of miles. Without a doubt, this spirit vein should belong to the dragon vein branch of the demon court. He muttered in his heart. He actually didn't hide it. Don't he know that he can lock the direction of the dragon vein of the demon court by following the direction of the spirit vein? The dragon vein of the demon court was too terrifying. It belonged to the great Dao dragon vein, the source of the ancestral bloodline of the demon region. If he could find the dragon vein of the demon court, it would be equivalent to obtaining a huge treasure. Of course, the demon realm would definitely protect the dragon vein very well. But it's no wonder. Who would dare to trespass in the demon court, let alone have any ideas about the dragon vein? Su Yan pondered for a while and then sneered, I'll find a chance to go to the dragon vein of the demon realm. I wonder if the dragon totem can take the opportunity to recover. The dragon totem on Su Yan's arm had been silent for a long time. This place belonged to the demon realm, and the dragon vein of the great Dao was very suitable for demon cultivation. Perhaps the dragon totem could take the opportunity to awaken. I have to speed up. After night passes, the experts of the demon realm will recover from their cultivation. At that time, this place might be even more dangerous. Su Yan rushed into the underground spirit vein. The essence energy here was very vigorous and contained boundless demon chi. Su Yan was very safe here. After all, the energy in the spirit vein was very complicated. When Su Yan went a few hundred miles deep, the spirit vein turned dark red. The energy was very hot, burning Su Yan's primordial spirit. The fire vein. Bao Kai is imprisoned in the fire vein. Su Yan's breathing was heavy. What was the demon realm doing? Were they suppressing Tai Bao Kai, or doing something else? In short, Su Yan's premonition was not good. He hoped that this trip would go smoothly. His primordial spirit continued to cross. Su Yan's speed continued to increase. He did not find the energy of the Divine King here. This meant that they were very confident and felt that it was impossible for anyone to sneak in. Of course, Su Yan had not sneaked in. He was now deep underground, but he had followed the aura of the broken cauldron and locked onto the bout-sized position. Gradually, the temperature of the world Su Yan was in became more and more terrifying. His spiritual consciousness was about to melt. Su Yan endured the pain from his soul and rushed into the sky in one go. When he was 50 miles away from the universal furnace, Su Yan realized that there was an endless stream of flame essence surging up from the ground. This gave Su Yan a chance. He hit in the flame essence and surged up with his suction force. Almost there. Su Yan's heart was in his throat. He was getting closer and closer to the Tai Bao Kai. Another 1,000 feet, 60 feet, 40 feet. When Su Yan was 60 feet away from the Tai Bao Kai, Su Yan clearly felt an abnormally tyrannical energy fluctuation. It was like a primordial dragon lying on top of Su Yan's head, filled with the power to burn the world. It's that old bastard Zhu Fu. Why is he here? Could it be that the demon realm sent Zhu Fu here to deal with the Bao Kai? Su Yan's eyes were red. Su Yan had seen Zhu Fu in the blood realm before. This aura was definitely his. Now, Zhu Fu was like a terrifying universal furnace burning, making Su Yan's heart heavy. If the Divine King was guarding here, Su Yan would not have a headache. But with a half-step expert guarding here, the difficulty of rescuing the Bao Kai would be too great. At this moment, Zhu Fu was using his own energy to activate the heavenly refining furnace secret technique to burn the Tai Bao Kai. Large amounts of flame essence surged up along with Su Yan's divine sense. He held his breath. Success or failure depended on this one move. Within the canyon, the earth's crust gushed out large amounts of flame essence and surged into the sky. Zhu Fu was sitting cross-legged in front of a bronze furnace. This person's aura was truly terrifying. He had been using the heavenly refining furnace to drive the universal furnace without rest, and the consumption wasn't too great for him. Su Yan had long since sealed everything. He didn't dare to look at Zhu Fu. The consequences would be unimaginable if the other party discovered him. In a hazy state, Su Yan only felt that he had escaped into an even more terrifying world of flames. The temperature inside was so high that Su Yan's divine sense was rapidly being consumed. It was on the verge of exploding into ashes. Not good. I should be inside a furnace. Could it be that they are refining the Bao Kai? Su Yan suddenly opened his eyes and saw a world of heaven and earth. Raging flames filled the sky, and the temperature was terrifying. It was enough to burn the sky and boil the sea. This place was rather terrifying and appalling. The temperature inside made Su Yan exclaim that it was abnormal. If his main body were to rush in, he would probably be burned to ashes in less than a day. Then, how could the Bao Kai survive being imprisoned here? Bao Kai. Su Yan's divine sense trembled. He saw a charred body lying at the bottom of the universal furnace. It was so thin that it was only skin and bones. It was so short that it was only the size of an adult's head. How much pain and torture had it endured? Even its main body had shrunk by a large margin. Bastard. Su Yan's anger was about to burst out uncontrollably. It was hard to imagine what the Bao Kai had gone through during this period of time. How could it be so thin? How could it be trained to such a state? Bastard. Su Yan roared in his heart. Not many people in the world could endure this kind of pain and torture. If it weren't for the power of the banners of demons in Bao-Cai's body, which guarded its source of life, the Bao Kai would have died long ago. How could it have lasted until now? Even Bao Kai was bound. 4 primal chaos chains refined from primal chaos materials bound his limbs, trapping him in the cauldron of heaven and earth. His precious body was locked down, making him unable to move. This bloody scene made Su Yan's hair stand on end. However, just as the terrifying temperature of the flames was about to engulf Su Yan's divine sense, Su Yan woke up from his anger. The time left for him was very limited. Boom! The space between the Bao-Cai's eyebrows trembled. That was the trembling power of the broken cauldron. Amidst the boundless despair and pain, amidst the terrifying sea of purgatory, Tai Baokai regained a bit of clarity amidst the despair. It was muddle-headed and felt that it had fallen into hell. Voices echoed in its ears. It was a familiar voice. Someone seemed to be calling its name. The Baokai was confused. It wanted to hear clearly, but it was difficult. The voice sounded like it was right beside its ears, but it also felt like it was thousands of miles away. The Baokai was a little confused. It seemed to have forgotten itself and its past. It had reached the extreme realm and almost lost its self-awareness. It was a miracle that it could survive until now. Baokai, I'm Su Yan. I'm Su Yan. Su Yan had an idea. He activated the power of the broken cauldron and struck out a deep Dao sound. It was as if purgatory had been shattered, and it restored more clarity to the Bao-Cai's lost soul. It wanted to speak, but it couldn't say a word. However, the Baokai already knew that its brother was coming to save it. He was nearby. Roar. The Baokai let out a miserable howl. Its body that was bound by the chaos treasure material began to tremble, as if it was responding to Su Yan. It was still alive. It could still hold on. It could still move. It was not crippled. The Baokai wanted to stand up, but it couldn't. If it moved, the 4 chaos chains would shine and emit a terrible power. The Bao-Cai's body was about to explode. Don't move. Wait for me to save you. You must hold on. In the end, Su Yan's divine will completely exploded and disappeared. It merged with the heaven and earth cauldron. The last sentence he left behind attacked the Bao-Cai's soul. Its entire body trembled. It roared in its heart. How can I die if I don't kill them? How can I die? The Bao-Cai's crippled body trembled and emitted a terrible light. Su Yan's arrival gave the Baokai hope. This little worm can't hold on any longer. Are you going to beg for mercy? Are you still hoping that someone will come to save you? To tell you the truth, the experts who sided with you have long been controlled by us. No one can save you now. Beg for mercy? It's too late. You've been destroyed. Even if you submit to the North Demon now, you're just a piece of trash. We'll keep you alive. You're very pitiful. The North Demon wants you dead. No one can help you. That's right. Senior Zhu Fu has worked hard. Just a few more days, and you'll be able to kill it. In the canyon, demonic laughter echoed. It was as if the Baokai was about to be reborn from the ashes. Puff. At the same time, far away in the outer regions of the monster court, Su Yan was sitting on the floor of a palace. He spat out a mouthful of blood. His face was incomparably pale, and beads of sweat rolled down his forehead. Su Yan's primordial spirit had been severely damaged. This was only an instinctive reaction. It was like a staff had struck his head. Big brother, what's wrong? Luo de Li was instantly on guard. His body was ready to erupt with his greatest strength at any moment. The black dragon spear was also raised in his hands. Su Yan slowly stood up. He wiped the blood from the corners of his mouth. His eyes emitted a terrifying cold light. Su Yan also clenched his fists. This was a furious fighting spirit awakening within him. Even the immortal iron staff in his life spring began to tremble. Recalling the scenes from the universe furnace as well as the Bao-Cai's current situation, Su Yan's chest began to violently heave up and down. His eyes were like lightning, and his long black hair danced in the wind. Su Yan's body rippled with a terrifying and ominous aura, causing Luo de Li's heart to pound. Su Yan had slaughtered supreme elders before. The ominous aura within his body was far too heavy. It could even be said that it was far more terrifying than the ominous aura of the Divine King. Chapter 806. Su Yan sat cross-legged once again, and the aura in his body calmed down. In the darkness, his shadow seemed unusually lonely and tall. His entire body seemed very quiet, and the aura in his body was deathly still. Luo Dali clenched his fists. One day, this deathly stillness would transform into a monstrous fighting spirit. He seemed to be able to see a monstrous change in the future of the grand meeting of the demon realm. Suyin was no longer a weakling. Not many people below the Divine King could stop him. Suddenly, in the demon court, Su Yin believed that with his power, he could change something. Su Yin sat until dawn. In the world of the demon court, the darkness also receded. At the end of the world, rays of bright golden light were projected, illuminating the entire demon court. Boom! For a moment, thousands of beasts roared, and the mountains shook. The roars of the beasts were about to split the sky, and a terrifying wild aura swept in all directions, covering the entire world of the demon court. All the beasts roared as they swallowed the sky, swallowing the bright rays of light that scattered down from the end of the horizon. This was a substance that looked like the true fire of the sun. It burned fiercely, and one ray after another contained exuberant essence. Thousands of beasts also seemed to be hunting, scrambling to snatch the golden energy bodies. They began to compete and compete. After all, the more they swallowed, the more help it would be to their strength. In the room where Su Yin was sitting cross-legged, a pair of golden eyes suddenly opened. He looked at the source of the golden energy, which was not far from the place where the Baokai was burned. In his eyes, it was as if the image of billions of true dragons had appeared. The vast dragon and tiger aura pressured the people to the point of suffocation, especially when Su Yin used a special technique to observe. He seemed to have seen the life spring of the demon court world. It was also like a huge heart. When it spat out, the universe was about to collapse. The land of the dragon vein. Su Yan's eyes shone with a cold light. It was definitely the land of the dragon head of the demon court. Every morning, the land of the dragon head would spurt out the aura of thousands of demons. This kind of gas had a great effect on demon cultivators. Su Yan narrowed his eyes slightly. The dragon totem that had been silent all this time suddenly blazed a little brighter, as though it was guiding the dragon head's location. The substance inside was definitely helpful to the dragon totem. Otherwise, it wouldn't have suddenly shown signs of recovery. Su Yan also recalled the time when he and Baokai explored the Death Universe. At that time, the dragon totem had absorbed a large amount of universe mother liquid. That was a rare treasure in the world. A single drop of it would make the Divine King risk his life for it. It had a super nourishing effect on the human body. That was a special substance formed from the essence of the universe. It could be called a great immortal treasure in the world. However, the dragon totem had absorbed too much, and since then, it had fallen into a deep slumber. Now that it was showing signs of awakening, Su Yin had no choice but to pay attention to it. The demon domain's dragon vein was imperative. You hurt my brother. I will make your demon domain pay a heavy price. Let's wait and see. Su Yin clenched his fists tightly. The moment he stood up, his killing intent swept out like a tide. The entire hall was chilled to the bone. He had already made some decisions and plans, and he even had to put them into action as soon as possible. Bao Cai's current situation couldn't be delayed for too long. He had to bring Baokai out of the furnace of heaven and earth within 10 days. Otherwise, it would really die inside, die in the furnace of heaven and earth, and be burned into a pile of ashes. The world of the demon court was slowly regaining its tranquility. Su Yan went to find Fairy Zixia and had a secret meeting with her for a while. Shen Lei had already hurried over to curry favor with her. This guy was now quite infatuated with Fairy Zixia, almost treating her as his dream lover. His words were full of flattery. He said that he would take Fairy Zixia to various places to explore the great rivers and mountains of the demon court. And Ji's face was full of annoyance. This little brat still wanted to pursue Fairy Zixia, but this little north demon was indeed very generous. He took out all kinds of rare treasures and gave them to Fairy Zixia to make her smile. This scene made Shen Lei's guards anxious. They didn't dare to target Fairy Zixia. The disciples of the Dao Temple were all honored guests of the demon domain. In the future, even the North demons would enter the Dao Temple to cultivate. They didn't dare to make enemies of the North demons. Fairy Zixia, these things are precious, but you don't have to accept all of them, right? And Ji was annoyed. He transmitted his voice. This will be looked down upon by others. Don't you know what this little thing is thinking? Hearing this, Fairy Zixia's face was full of admiration. She transmitted her voice to Nji. What do you know? These treasures were all used by the North Demons in the past. Used by the North Demons. What nonsense are you talking about? Nji almost exploded. His face and neck were red, and the sword embryo on his back was faintly vibrating. This was the first time he saw Fairy Zixia show such an expression of admiration towards someone. What nonsense are you talking about? The North Demons are supreme beings, and now he has the banners of demons. He's the future master of all demons. In the future, he won't be inferior to Qiuming. Fairy Zixia transmitted her voice. There's no doubt that the North Demons are terrifying. I really want to talk to him and understand his current situation. Bastard, bastard, bastard. And Ji was about to go mad with anger. He had been pursuing Fairy Zixia all this time. Since he and Ji had been able to join the Tao Temple, both his talent and the power behind him were astonishing. But Fairy Zixia had always been indifferent to him. But now, Fairy Zixia had such a high opinion of the North Demons. Could it be? No, Fairy Zixia is my Tao companion. No one can take her away from me, not even supreme beings. And Ji was furious. He said to the people accompanying the North Demons, when is the North Demon coming out of seclusion? Why hasn't he shown himself yet? Our Tao Temple's experts are all here. Is it not worth the North Demon coming out to meet us? Kid, what's with your attitude? Shenlei had been unhappy with Nji for a long time. Last night, he'd asked around and found out that Nji had been chasing after Fairy Zixia. He already hated Nji. Now, he even dared to speak to the North Demon in such a tone. What does my attitude have to do with you? Do you think you're the North Demon? Nji coldly looked at Shenlei and shouted, Go back and tell the North Demon that I want to fight him. I want to see just how strong the North Demon is. Boom. Nji's aura surged out without hiding it. The sword embryo on his back was about to leave its sheath. The terrifying sword intent soared into the heavens, tearing through the sky. It was like a peerless sword light that could split the stars in the sky. Nji's strength was undeniable. He cultivated the ancient sword path, and his attack power was unparalleled. Are you crazy? Don't mess around. Xingjie frowned. He didn't doubt Nji's strength, but the North Demon was a supreme. Nji hadn't cultivated to that level yet. But now, Nji had said he wanted to challenge the North Demon, and they were still in the Demon Court. The North Demon couldn't possibly avoid the battle. Once they clashed, did Nji have any hope of winning? Shenlei was furious. His face was ashen. He pointed at Nji and said angrily, You dare to challenge my big brother? You, Nji, just wait. You'll soon see how strong my big brother is. Remember, you owe me another favor. Fairy Zixia transmitted her voice to Su Yin, who had been silent all this while. Su Yin rubbed his head. He definitely couldn't offend Fairy Zixia in the future. Her charisma was too shocking. With just a few words, she had made Nji so angry that he wanted to fight the North Demon. A genius from the Tao Temple challenging the North Demon. This matter caused a huge commotion throughout the Yao Court. First of all, the Tao Hall was sacred and transcendent. Rumor had it that the disciples of the Tao Hall were all extraordinary individuals. But the North Yao was an autarch. How could a disciple of the Tao Hall possibly stop him? No matter what, this caused a huge commotion. Shun Xiangming, the Divine King, complained incessantly. If the Tao Temple lost, they would lose face, but the North Demon had to suppress Nji in a peerless manner. Only then would he be able to match his current status. Since Nji had issued a challenge to the North Demon, there was no reason for him to back down. Before long, Shun Xiaoming stood up and said, In 3 days, the North Demon and the Tao Temple's disciple, Nji, will have a friendly match. You're all welcome to come and watch. The North Demon had always been mysterious, even in the Demon Court. Now that the North Demon was going to fight the Tao Temple's genius, many of the Demon Court's old-timers came out. After all, The North Demon was going to become the future ruler of the demon realm. Who would want to watch this battle? This was Su Yan's goal. He wanted to attract the attention of the demon court's experts so that he could smoothly carry out his next plan. Su Yan had been walking around the demon court for the entire day, befriending the demon realm's geniuses and gathering more information about the demon court. At night, Su Yan began to move. He had already mastered the essence body secret technique. His bones and blood glowed, and a vast source of energy emerged from his pores. The divine power in his body whizzed out and pierced through the void. The essence body secret technique was very harmful to Su Yan. It required him to create an incarnation with 50% of Su Yan's combat strength. When it was truly formed, Su Yan looked a little old. He felt that his lifespan had been depleted, but Su Yan didn't care at all. He was still young, so this kind of depletion wasn't a big problem for him. As for the incarnation that was formed, it was exactly the same as Su Yan. It sat cross-legged in front of Su Yan. It was a very strange feeling. He was you, and you were him. Luo Dali was moved. This secret technique was really magical. He had also mastered it, but Su Yan only allowed his incarnation to move alone tonight. It's time to go. Night fell, and the demon court's world was filled with demons. Su Yan's essence body was fully prepared. He was wearing the space-time armor and holding the yin-yang compass. If he failed, these two secret treasures would leave him. Su Yan's essence body disappeared into the night. He burrowed underground and followed the dragon vein underground, beginning to cross the land of the dragon vein. The underground world was not quiet. Many demon cultivators came and went, absorbing the divine power of the earth vein and the spirit vein to cultivate. There were even some secret palaces that glowed. There were definitely geniuses of the demon court in seclusion, absorbing the essence of the earth vein to temper their foundation. Su Yan didn't dare breathe loudly. He wrapped himself tightly. If he was discovered, he would be finished. Although it wasn't his true body, it was definitely a big deal for human cultivators to sneak into the demon court. Should I kill some of the experts in seclusion while I'm at it? Su Yan muttered in his heart as he walked all the way here. Along the way, he had discovered many young geniuses with terrifying demonic auras. If he really attacked secretly, he would definitely be able to kill them all. Just like in Purple Sun Taoist Rite, Su Yan could cripple a large number of geniuses in the Ancestral Hall. Chapter 807. Behave yourself. Su Yan only thought about it for a moment before giving up. He did not cause any trouble and approached the dragon vein. Midnight passed, and Su Yan was almost at Bao-Cai's location. He took a deep breath and continued to follow the underground vein to explore the traces of the demon court's great Dao dragon vein. When he was close to his destination, Su Yan discovered that the dragon totem was showing signs of recovery. This made him happy. This meant that the demon court's dragon vein was really of great help to the dragon totem. Su Yan was looking forward to how powerful the dragon totem would be after recovering to this level. I'm almost there. It's right ahead. The surrounding space emitted oppressive fluctuations. The main reason was that the demonic aura was too thick. He had definitely arrived at the core of the demon court. He could vaguely feel that there was an old monster with a terrifying aura in seclusion underground. Su Yan was very cautious. He checked his body's condition once again before he continued to cross with ease. After all, Su Yan had the yin-yang compass. He could gather the power of heaven and earth and conceal his aura. As long as a mighty figure did not suddenly look at this place, he would not be exposed. When the essence energy in the space was so dense that it could not be dispersed, Su Yan knew that he had arrived at his destination. In the space, the aura was extremely oppressive, like a raging sea falling from the top of the sky. The demon court's great Dao dragon vein was peerlessly powerful. If Su Yan barged in directly, his incarnation would definitely be crushed by the terrifying energy source. He was still at the edge. Su Yan held his breath and patiently explored the terrain here, memorizing the direction of the earth vein. Today, Su Yan was here to scout. He did not want to obtain anything. In this hazy world of purple chi, a terrifying figure appeared vaguely. It must be the core cultivators of the demon court cultivating here, breathing in the essence of the great Tao dragon vein. Unfortunately, these people did not notice that there was a human cultivator lingering nearby. The demon court's dragon vein is really terrifying. It has accumulated for a long time. The energy stored inside can be said to be world-shaking. The demon court's great Tao dragon vein occupied a huge space. It was no less than 100,000 miles. Su Yin wandered around the edge for a couple of hours and roughly figured out the direction of the terrain. When he raised his head and looked up, it was as if he saw the 9 heavens gathering. The purple ocean was roaring, and the sea of the heavens was surging. It was truly spectacular and terrifying, gathering the unimaginable power of the demon court. Su Yan's expression changed. Wasn't the layout of this place too shocking? However, even Su Yin seemed extremely small as he stood there. He was like an ant looking up at the blue dome of heaven. He had a feeling that he did not know where to start. Entering is as difficult as ascending to the heavens. We have to find an opportunity. Su Yin smiled bitterly. How could the demon court's dragon vein be so easily broken? The demon region must have set up all sorts of seals here. Even mighty figures would find it extremely difficult to open this dragon vein. This was equivalent to the lifeline of the fiend court. It was exceptionally terrifying, rising and falling here, like a matchless fiend god that was about to awaken. It erupted with millions and millions of streaks of light, full of fluctuations that suppressed all living things. However, Su Yin was not in a hurry. He waited here. Time passed bit by bit. The experts who were cultivating near the demon court's dragon vein focused on absorbing the essence of the dragon vein. One had to know that those who could cultivate here had a very high status in the demon court. These energy essences were also leaked from the dragon vein. This dragon vein was the dragon head that nurtured the demon court's land. If anything happened, the demon court's land would be severely damaged. It's coming. Su Yan's eyes lit up slightly. He could vaguely sense that the great Tao dragon vein was about to tremble. Boom! Sure enough, a dull sound exploded. It was deafening, like a thunderbolt on a clear day, waking up the experts of the demon region who were cultivating here. More than 10 experts appeared, causing Su Yan's expression to turn ugly. There were too many experts guarding this place. There were more than 10 heavenly gods, and there was even a divine king secretly guarding it. Even if the great Tao dragon vein was important, there was really no need for the demon region to let these experts guard here, right? Just as Su Yin was having a headache, the vast and magnificent demon court's dragon vein trembled again. The endless array formations protecting it burned, and at this moment, some cracks appeared. They began to spew out boundless golden light. For a time, it was as if dragons had emerged from a sea. Rays of golden divine light pierced through the sky, radiating towards the demon region. It's true, just as Su Yin had guessed. If he wanted to enter the dragon vein, he could only wait for it to erupt with energy essence on its own. Moreover, there wasn't much time left for Su Yin. He had to sneak in as soon as possible. However, with so many experts guarding this place, it was too difficult to sneak in. Boom! Suddenly, the divine king, who was lurking in the dark, made a move, causing Su Yan's mind to tense up. Could it be that he had been exposed? Then, he realized that the divine king had covered the sky with one hand. In an instant, he had covered up thousands of golden dragon vein essence. This was the essence of the great Tao dragon vein. It could be considered a rare, precious medicine and was very precious. The divine king had collected a large amount of essence. With a wave of his hand, he pushed toward the spatial coordinate. That is, Su Yan's pupils suddenly constricted. The space exploded with a bang, revealing a terrifying figure. It was indomitable, like a demon king who had split the world apart. This figure was extremely resplendent, like a burning golden sun that suppressed the world. His body was covered in golden scales that were as brilliant as dragon scales. This person's appearance was very similar to Little North Demon. Could it be? The only difference between him and Little North Demon was that he had a closed vertical eye between his eyebrows. North Demon. Su Yin was sure that he was North Demon. Just based on the terrifying essence blood source in his body and the domineering demon god body, Su Yin was certain. North Demon had long become a god. Now he was standing here. His pores were absorbing a huge amount of dragon vein essence. This energy was naturally a great supplement that helped North Demon strengthen his demon god body. A peak race was a peak race, and this future ruler of the demon region had already started to enjoy such treatment. Standing here and absorbing the essence of the great Tao dragon vein to cultivate was too extravagant. Even the divine king did not have such treatment. His eye, Su Yin frowned. He realized that North Demon's vertical eye was very strange. It was never open, but a large amount of purple essence had passed through his vertical eye. It was even more than his body had absorbed. Could it be that North Demon was terrifying because of his heavenly eye? When the future North Demon Highness opens his heavenly eye, no one can compete with him. Su Yin heard the generals under North Demon talking. This was a huge clue. North Demon's most terrifying trump card was the vertical eye between his eyebrows. This was very important. There was no news of it in the outside world. This was enough to prove the importance of the heavenly eye. Why hasn't the 9-dragon treasure medicine appeared yet? Some experts said angrily, does the 9-dragon treasure medicine not recognize North Demon? F*CK. 9-dragon treasure medicine. Su Yan's eyes turned red. It was rumored that the #1 treasure medicine of the demon domain was the legendary 9 dragons treasure medicine. No one had ever seen this treasure medicine before. According to ancient legends, eating the 9-dragon treasure medicine was equivalent to a true dragon being reborn. It could be said that the value of the 9 dragons treasure medicine was about the same as the Big Dipper divine medicine. However, the 9 dragons treasure medicine was terrifying enough. The experts of the demon court knew very well that the 9 dragons treasure medicine was the #1 treasure of the demon court. Since they were waiting here, it meant that the 9-dragon treasure medicine was in the Tao dragon vein. It was very difficult to find the 9-dragon treasure medicine in the Tao dragon vein. First of all, the Tao dragon vein was terrifying. The energy was too strong. They couldn't stay in the Tao dragon vein for a long time. Don't worry. That evil creature will be refined to death soon. When that time comes, His Highness will control the banners of demons. The 9-dragon treasure medicine will have no choice but to submit to His Highness. From their words, Su Yin obtained a lot of information. North Demon was already strong enough. If he obtained the banners of demons and forcefully suppressed the 9-dragon treasure medicine, then North Demon would really be heaven-defying. From the beginning to the end, North Demon was cold and emotionless. He stood between heaven and earth and bathed in the essence of the Tao dragon vein. All the geniuses of the demon court were competing to absorb the essence of the Tao, but North Demon was absorbing it so openly. Who knew what they would think if they knew? Since ancient times, no one from the peak races could cultivate in the great Tao dragon vein, not even mighty figures. The dragon vein was the place where the demon court rose and prospered. It was also a peerless treasure land for the continuation of the races. They would not allow experts to enter to cultivate. They had to ensure that the great Tao dragon vein would exist for countless years. Banners of demons. I'm also looking forward to it. After a long while, North Demon spoke coldly. There were very few things in the world that could attract him. He was naturally determined to obtain the banners of demons. Only with this item in hand could he control the entire demon court. He would also obtain an unimaginable foundation. North Demon's overall aura became more and more terrifying and domineering. The golden scales on his body clanged, and the space collapsed. Seeing this, the Divine King, who protected North Demon, sighed. Those old things still say that Baokai is the orthodox. Nonsense. How can that small fish be compared to North Demon? North Demon's strength is enough to turn their lives upside down. That's right. Even Tai Baotsai's brother, Su Yin, can only look up to North Demon. He's not qualified to talk to North Demon face to face. North Demon will definitely be invincible in the future. The generals under North Demon's command admired North Demon greatly. The Divine King was full of praise. He said that North Demon would definitely surpass Qiu Ming and the others in the future and become the unparalleled king of the Demon Dao in the universe. After all, North Demon was strong enough. However, if he obtained the banners of demons and the 9-dragon herb, he would really be heaven-defying. Even the young powerhouses of the Chaos Ruins would pale in comparison to North Demon. How arrogant! He wants to be invincible in the world. Does the banners of demons give North Demon that much confidence? Su Yin had been hiding in the space, not daring to act rashly. Su Yin sneered in his heart. Just the banners of demons alone can make him invincible in the world. Then wouldn't the demon domain be the ruler of the universe for generations? What can the Ancestral Hall do? At this time, North Demon and the others' figures began to blur. This was because the time for the Dao Dragon Vein to erupt was over. The entire Dao Dragon Vein sealed itself. Su Yin discovered a problem. They seemed to be unable to enter the Demon Court Dragon Vein. Could this seal have something to do with the banners of demons? Chapter 808. Suya did not stay here for long. Taking advantage of the time when they were chatting happily, he quietly left the area. Su Yin heaved a sigh of relief when he returned to his room. Although it was only his original body, if he lost 2 treasures, it would be enough to make Su Yan's heart ache. There were still 2 days before the battle between Ji and the North Yao. Su Yin calculated the layout of the Great Dao Dragon Vein and started to make some formations. The Yao court was getting more and more lively. Over the past few days, some representatives of the peak races had come. The Divine King had also come to participate in the event. They all wanted to know how powerful the North Yao was now. A North Yao who had obtained the banners of demons and was about to become the ruler of all demons. Just thinking about it was shocking. All the peak races attached great importance to the North Yao, especially the Nine Yang sect. They were a little afraid of the North Yao in the future. King Flash might have died. A piece of news spread throughout the entire demon region, causing the experts of various clans to exclaim in surprise. The Lightning King was a peak clan, a rising star of the Divine Firmament star area. If such a character died, it would be a great change. The Blood region was not quiet either. The Divine Firmament star region and the Daluo dynasty were furious. They even suspected that the Feng family was behind this. Luo Tiandu and King Flash were Yingjia. They were enough to look down on their peers. In the future, they would be the leaders of their races. If they really died in the corpse blood sea, it would be a big deal. They are not dead yet. Su Yin was a little surprised when he heard this news. If the 2 young giants had really fallen, it would be strange if the 2 peak clans did not go crazy. It was obvious that they were still alive, which meant that their primordial spirit lamps were still lit. However, they could face the threat of death at any time. However, the corpse blood sea was a place of death. Even half-step almighties couldn't go deep. It was too dangerous. I wonder how Hua Qing is doing. Su Yin sighed in his heart. He didn't have the heart to care about these things now. He continued to make formations. And Ji, on the other hand, did not sleep or rest as he continued to research his mystic arts. Since he had already spoken, taking back his words would only damage the Dao Hall's reputation. Another day passed. At night, Su Yan's original body went on the road again. This time, Su Yan went to the prison of Baokai to explore the surrounding area and engrave the topographic map of the area. It was 50,000 kilometers away from the Demon Court's Dragon Vein. Although Su Yin could reach there in a short period of time with his speed, he had to rush there immediately if there was a problem with the Great Dao Dragon Vein. Therefore, Su Yin prepared to inscribe a set of space formation that could integrate with the general trend of heaven and earth. Before he left, he looked deeply at the place where Baokai was imprisoned and said in a deep voice, "Hold on. Time is almost up. Wait for me." Su Yin quietly returned. Just as his original body was about to return, he did not expect Zixia Fairy to break in. Luo Dili glared at Zixia Fairy. Although he knew that she was Su Yan's friend, he was really worried that she would harm Su Yin if she came here so late at night. Dili, stand down. Su Yan's original body opened his eyes. His face was a little pale. It was obvious that he had not fully recovered from the gathering of his original body. But it should be done by tomorrow. You really want to go? Zixia Fairy frowned and looked at Su Yan. How confident are you? Hearing this, Su Yan was silent for a while, then said to Zixia Fairy, 30%. You have 30% confidence? Zixia Fairy was a little skeptical. Bao Kai must be closely guarded. Although 30% confidence was very low, Zixia Fairy was still very surprised by his decision to risk his life. Well, I won't ask anymore, Zixia Fairy said curiously. Zixia Fairy asked curiously, I want to know if you really saved Tai Bao Kai. How are you going to leave? Hearing this, Su Yan was silent. He had not thought about how to leave. There was only one way from here to the outside world, and that was through the gate of 10,000 demons. But once Su Yan saved Bao Kai, Shun Xiangming and the others would definitely find out. Don't tell me that you haven't thought about how to leave. Zixia Fairy did not know whether to laugh or cry. Then what's the point of saving Tai Bao Kai? You can't do it without sacrificing yourself. I have thought about it, but it seems that there is no other way. Su Yan smiled bitterly. Then what's the difference between you and death? Zixia Fairy's face was a little serious. She said, if you really have no confidence, I suggest you quit. Don't make unnecessary sacrifices. I might not die. I might be able to escape unscathed. Su Yan smiled. He only had a certain degree of confidence in saving Tai Bao Kai, and the way to leave was on Tai Bao Kai himself, and that was the banners of demons. You bastard, you're still hiding it. Zixia Fairy gathered her hair, and her graceful figure was full of the great path's charm. A snow-white hand reached out from her sleeve, and a golden, translucent beast skin map floated in it. This ancient beast skin map was like a condensed starry sky floating, full of a terrifying aura that covered the heavenly abyss. Starry sky beast skin? Su Yan was a little surprised. Shenlei had given this to the Starry Sky Beast King at a great cost, but now the Starry Sky Beast Skin was much stronger than before. Yes, the Starry Sky Beast King has returned from the 10,000 demon pool. Its strength has increased a lot, and it is in seclusion in my room. This Starry Sky Beast Skin has also transformed. It is very powerful. Zixia Fairy chuckled. Even a half-almighty would find it difficult to catch up with this thing in a short time. It is good at hiding. It is a terrifying space-time secret treasure. The Starry Sky Beast King asked me to lend it to you for a few days. I hope it will be helpful to you. Help me thank her. Su Yan did not refuse or decline. He really wanted this thing. It should be able to hide from the ancestral blessings detection. You can come back alive and thank her in person. Zixia Fairy walked gracefully. Under the moonlight, she was full of a fairy. She turned and left, leaving behind a graceful figure. As for the Starry Sky Beast Skin, it floated in the void, blooming with light and spreading a vast starry sky fluctuation. This was the skin shed by a Starry Sky Beast King that was about to evolve into a mighty. Its value was frighteningly high, and it was the ancestral treasure of its race. Su Yan directly grasped the Starry Sky Beast Skin and put it on. Su Yan realized that he had disappeared. To be more precise, he had entered a unique starry sky world, isolated from the rest of the world. Big brother, I can't see you anymore. Dili Luo was moved. Su Yan seemed to have disappeared from the room. This thing was too shocking. It was worthy of being the supreme treasure of the Starry Sky Beast King lineage. The third day arrived. The world of the Fey Court was bustling with noise and excitement. There were too many experts from the various races and factions. They were all young experts who could shake a region. I have to see the battle between the North Yao and the Dao Temple's genius with my own eyes. Many people were laughing. These people all had great backgrounds. Otherwise, how could they have entered the Fey Court? They had come early to see the North Yao's peerless glory. Even if it was not the North Yao, it would still be shocking if it was any other celestial supreme. The North Yao, the strongest of the Yao race. I wonder how strong he is. The Dao Temple's genius is naturally not weak. Maybe he can test how strong the North Yao is. They gathered together and chatted. And Ji was furious when he heard this. Was he reduced to a supporting character, a foil to the North Yao's halo? This made Nji feel indignant. There were also people talking about the Banners of Demons. There was a rumor that the controller of the Banners of Demons was Tai Baokai. However, this topic was immediately interrupted. Someone stood up and warned, "Don't talk about it here. This is a family matter of the Yao realm. Moreover, the Banners of Demons should belong to the North Yao. I don't know who that Tai Baokai is, but Madman Su is trapped in the Milky Way. Even he can't stop the North Yao, let alone the beast behind him." Many people agreed, but there were also people who sneered. Speaking of which, no one knew how strong Su Yan was. He was already terrifying enough to kill Zhu Tian's incarnation. He had even killed the Divine King in the Milky Way War. Young people in the world? Who had killed the Divine King? Actually, I'm looking forward to seeing Madman Su come to the Yao realm and cause trouble. Someone said, causing a group of people to laugh. Come to the Yao realm and cause trouble? Even powerful people had to consider whether they were powerful enough. Su Yan dared to come to the Yao realm. He would have to leave the Milky Way alive first. But he's really here. You're belittling Su Yan here, but you don't know that you're just a joke in front of Su Yan. It's not terrible to be born in the wrong clan. What's terrible is to lose your courage. Although Fairy Zixia didn't have a deep friendship with Su Yan, she still approved of his character. That person had come, and tomorrow would be the day of the operation. She was really looking forward to seeing how big a storm Su Yan could stir up with his weak body. Time passed bit by bit. When it was almost nighttime, Su Yan had finished inscribing 2 sets of array discs. His original body had also recovered to its peak strength. Su Yan sat cross-legged on the ground and whispered in the dark room, "I have the help of Force Armor, my breakthrough, and the Dragon Subduing Staff Array. As long as I don't meet the Divine King, I won't encounter any obstacles at all." Su Yan still had the Divine King's bodyguard, the 5-element sword array, the Pearl of the Great Tao, and even the life-saving imprint left by the old Star Master. How good would it be if I became a god now? Time really waits for no one. Su Yan stood up slowly, and the blood in his body that had been calm for a long time began to boil. Since leaving the Milky Way, Su Yan hadn't really fought, but tomorrow morning he would face a fierce battle, and it was hard to say whether he would live or die. "Big brother, are we leaving now?" Luo Dali also stood up. His bronze body was like a magnificent mountain, and the ground trembled with every step he took. "Dali, we don't know what will happen tomorrow. We may all die here." Su Yan's eyes flashed with cold light. He looked at Luo Dali and said in a low voice, "It's not too late for you to back out now. I won't blame you. You can go with Fairy Zixia to the Taoist temple. There, I can guarantee your safety. Let's go, big brother." Luo Dali took out the black dragon spear, and his body became more and more valiant, like a god of war from the ancient purgatory, barbaric to the extreme. "Haha, let's go." Su Yan's loud laughter reverberated in the dark night. His laughter also contained a strand of terrifying, murderous intent. Chapter 809. This night was destined not to be peaceful. Tomorrow morning was the day of the battle between the Northern Demons and the Tao Temple's geniuses. But on this night, the demon realm was in turmoil. Many tribes, including the Peak tribes, came to the demon realm in large batches. Some came to congratulate the Northern Demons, while others came to gather information. In short, everyone had their own agenda. But all the experts who came tonight were curious about how strong the Northern Demons were now. A young powerhouse who was about to be revered by all demons attracted everyone's attention. Almost all the Peak tribes had arrived. Many young geniuses also appeared in Demon City. Some of the older generation said that the Sun Domes group would come on the day of the gathering. A future leader of the demon realm was someone all the tribes would fight to befriend. Even the Peak tribes were no exception. In the ancestral court of the demon realm, the demons were dancing chaotically, and the scene became more and more terrifying. The night was not calm at all. The demon realm was displaying their strength. This demon realm meeting was not only to establish the status of the Northern Demon Realm, but also to display the power of the demon realm and intimidate all the races in the world. The vast demon realm was vast and boundless. In the thick night, the mountains trembled and beasts roared, shaking the rivers and mountains. The world was completely barren. It shocked the experts of the various tribes who had entered the demon court. Many young geniuses came together and came to the residence of the Tao Temple's disciples to greet them. And Ji was still cultivating in seclusion. Actually, with each passing day, the pressure on his shoulders increased. Now that he thought about it, he didn't know what was wrong with him, but he suddenly had to fight the northern demons. Celestial supremacy was indeed a celestial supremacy. His invincible divine might was not something that ordinary people could compete with. The Tao Hall was still as sacred and transcendent as ever. The young geniuses of the peak races were all very respectful. They wanted to know when the Tao Hall would start recruiting disciples, but He Shengjie and the others had already said that the first batch of disciples would start from the progress of the Chaos Tower. Many people's faces paled. The Chaos Tower was too difficult to pass. Even the great powers of the past had said that no one could pass the Chaos Tower. Who left the Chaos Tower behind? It was still a mystery to this day. It's time to go. Zixia Fairy sent a voice transmission to Su Yan's room, but she didn't get a response. She looked up at the sky, at the bright moon, and muttered to herself, "Who will be the king of the demon realm?" "What are you talking about?" Yixingjie vaguely caught Zixia Fairy's words. He walked over and whispered, "Who is the king?" The kings of the past would naturally leave the Tao Hall. Even the major forces in the Chaos Ruins would have peerless geniuses enter the Tao Hall to pursue the path of Almighty. Almighty. Fairy Zixia didn't agree with He Shengjie's words. The Chaos Ruins were a massive Taoist temple, a terrifying training ground. There was no need to go to a Taoist temple in pursuit of almighty power. As long as one dared to challenge it and risk their lives, there would always be a glimmer of hope in the future. As for the Tao Temple, it only provided them with a cultivation environment. The cultivation treasures came from any of the universal secret realms in the Chaos Ruins. I'll say again, who's the king of the universe? Fairy Zixia chuckled. In every universe epic, there will be a powerhouse who will reach the top and look down on the world, intimidating the past and present. Hearing this, He Shengjie frowned and hesitated for a long time before saying, "I think it should be Qiu Ming and the others. After all, they're the peerless divine king and are infinitely close to becoming almighty. Once they step into this stage, the Yingjie of the world is destined to be overshadowed. If an existence like Qiu Ming were to fully emerge, he would indeed be able to suppress the misery of his peers." The world of the demon court was becoming more and more lively. Many old demons came out of seclusion to entertain the powerhouses of various races. The outer regions were filled with all kinds of blood essence. Along the way, Su Yan could clearly see that the number of powerhouses in the core region of the demon realm had decreased by a lot. Without a doubt, the battle between Ji and the North Demon had already had an amazing effect. It had greatly facilitated Su Yan's plan. With the Starry Sky Bee-Skin as a disciple, Su Yan was completely unrestrained. Now, the focus of the demon realm was the battle between the North Demon and Ji tomorrow, and even the Tai Bao Kai. There were really not many powerhouses guarding the Great Tao Dragon Vein. After all, the Great Tao Dragon Vein had existed for countless years. If someone really wanted to take it, they would have done it long ago. There was no need to wait until the beginning of the event. After all, the difficulty had greatly increased. As the demonic aura intensified, the source of essence became more vigorous. Luo Deli also noticed that the place where the vast essence gathered contained a terrifying ancestral power of the demon court. Luo Deli was shocked. "Big brother, is that the place where the great Tao Dragon Vein converges?" Seeing Su Yan nod, Luo Deli's face turned pale. This was the most important place in the demon court. If something happened to the place where the great Tao Dragon Vein converged, the entire demon realm would instantly riot. Su Yan wanted to take the opportunity to rescue the Bao Kai. After all, if something happened to the great Tao Dragon Vein, it would definitely be an extremely heaven-defying event. The entire demon realm's attention would be gathered here. When they were about to reach their destination, Su Yin stopped moving. The starry sky beast's skin wrapped around him and Luo Dali, suppressing all fluctuations of aura within their bodies. They quietly lay dormant within. Luo Dali could see that in the vast demonic aura in front of them, there were terrifying figures faintly discernible. These were powerhouses that belonged to the demon court, guarding the great Tao dragon vein. Wait! Su Yin closed his eyes, conserving his strength. Luo Dali nodded. He took out the black dragon spear and began to carefully clean this divine king weapon. With Luo de Li's divine realm cultivation, he could completely erupt the black dragon spear to the limit of his domain. For Su Yin, this night was extremely long. In the quiet night, it was difficult to suppress the chaotic battle blood within Su Yan's body. The outside world was noisy and lively, but the world here was so quiet that one could hear a pin drop. Su Yin didn't discover the North monster here. He should have left. After several hours of careful investigation, they discovered that there were a total of 6 powerhouses here. There were 5 heavenly gods and a divine king. The most troublesome one was the divine king. If they couldn't kill him, then all of their previous efforts would have been for naught. Su Yin and Luo de Li discussed tactics. The divine king was powerful and heaven-defying, but Su Yin had the experience of killing a divine king. In addition, with the help of a demon god like Luo de Li, it wouldn't be too difficult to kill a divine king. In the latter half of the night, Su Yin had already adjusted himself to his peak state. Time slowly passed. Su Yan's eyes and ears were sharp. He seemed to be fusing with the world of the demon court. This was a wonderful manifestation. Su Yin faintly discovered that the Tao seal hidden between his eyebrows was quietly manifesting. It seemed to be able to fuse with the world of the demon court. The great Tao mark between his eyebrows was very special. It was hazy with space-time light rain. It was blurry, like a void mark that didn't exist in the world. The immortal planet and Earth's Tao fruit were crystals that collided across a long period of time. They were mysterious and special. Su Yin took the opportunity to comprehend the magnificence of the demon court. He seemed to have a panoramic view of the entire demon court. The magnificent world of the demon court. It was filled with terrifying space-time pressure. At that moment, Su Yin seemed to see majestic figures jumping out of the river of time and space, looking down on the past, present, and future. They were invincible for one universe after another. They were terrifying and domineering. They were filled with the mysterious light of time, and they wanted to walk along a path. Strange scenes attacked Su Yan's soul. He couldn't help but tremble. At that moment, Su Yin felt like he was about to explode. He saw things that he shouldn't see. This was not a scene that he could understand at his realm. It was related to time and space. It was also like a huge reincarnation vortex that lay in Su Yan's soul. The layout was majestic to the extreme. Su Yin trembled in suffocation. The scene was even somewhat familiar, because Su Yin had seen these scenes from the Banners of Demons. There was a certain similarity. It was difficult to see through those terrifying figures. They rushed through the years, as if they wanted to rush into this world and merge with it. Were they the supreme beings of the demon domain? The Banners of Demons were respected by the entire demon domain. What was the connection between the demon domain and the Banners of Demons? What was the relationship between them and the Tai Bao Kai? Su Yin suddenly recalled that in the past, he had encountered a true dragon called Bao Kai in the land of the fantasy immortal planet. Su Yin didn't dare to investigate further. A strange feeling surfaced in his heart. His great Tao mark was really worth investigating. Perhaps he could unearth a strange ability. After all, Su Yin had used his great Tao mark to see through the secrets of the demon court. In that case, could it be said that Su Yan's great Tao mark was omnipotent? It could open the great Tao of any star domain for observation and comprehension. This was too heaven-defying. Every star domain had its own unique Tao and method. There should be the strongest secret technique of the star domain. If it could really be used as a cheat, could it include all the strongest secret techniques of the star domain? However, Su Yin felt that it was a pity. His cultivation was too low. He couldn't steal the secret technique by force. When Su Yin came back to his senses, he sat quietly in the starry sky beast skin and raised his head to look at the demon court. At this moment, Su Yin suddenly realized that the demon court was no longer as mysterious and transcendent as before. He could see more things clearly. A smile appeared on Su Yin's face. His attainments in the mystic arts had been strengthened once again. He felt that he was really infinitely close to the 7th grade domain. Once he stepped into this stage, Su Yin would preach the Tao in the starry sky and control the momentum of the world. He would be able to suppress powerful enemies. Even if he encountered the Divine King, he would be able to gather the mysterious and terrifying power of the world and fight against the Divine King. Big brother, Luo de Li's voice came. Su Yin suddenly woke up. Only then did he realize that the sky was gradually brightening. It's about to begin. Su Yin's body glowed. The long-lost power in his body began to circulate and boil. His eyes revealed the terrifying flames of war as he shouted, "De Li, are you ready?" Luo de Li brought out the black dragon spear. The power of an ancient beast boiled in his body. He was responding to Su Yin. He was fully prepared. Boom! At dawn, the world of the demon court trembled. All the cultivators in the demon court vaguely sensed an aura that could swallow the universe. It was as if a sleeping dragon had awakened and erupted with a terrifying demon god aura. It's the aura of the North Demon. It's definitely him. The world of the demon court shook. The North Demon had already come out of seclusion. He stood in the depths of the demon court like an indomitable demon god. He was filled with a terrifying, domineering aura and wanted to dominate the land of the demon realm. So terrifying, the older generation trembled. There were even outstanding women of the demon race who screamed excitedly. The North Demon deserves to be the king of all demons. Wisps of terrifying aura awakened and were born with the North Demon. At the same time, Su Yin attacked forcefully. He directly took out the starry sky bee skin and suppressed the universe. It was like a terrifying and deep starry abyss descending from the sky and covering this place. Then let's kill. Two cold lights flashed in Su Yan's eyes as he began to attack the demon court's dragon vein. Chapter 810. The vast land of the demon court, where demons danced wildly, fell silent because of the appearance of a shadow. It did not disappoint the demon court experts. At this moment, the North's demonic aura engulfed the world. His figure was so bright that it almost illuminated the entire land of the demon court. The North Demon's strength was undeniable. His figure was filled with a domineering aura that made the world around him blur. This indomitable number one person of the demon court had a peerless, domineering aura that could swallow the entire sea of stars. Thousands of demons trembled. They wanted to kneel at the North Demon's feet and call him the King of Demons. Many women of the demon court screamed, "The North Demon is invincible. The King of Demons is invincible." The number one person of the demon court is destined to sweep through the world in the future. He is invincible. This was an extremely high praise. Ordinary people could not accept it, but to the paragons, it was not an exaggeration. The North Demon was already powerful and dazzling. Now that he was about to become the King of Demons, he was truly peerless. Shun Xiangming and the others were laughing loudly. They were looking forward to obtaining the banners of demons. After refining the 9 dragons medicine, how terrifying would the North Demon become? Their ambition was not just to become the King of Demons. They wanted to become the King of the universe. The North Demon is very powerful and mysterious. I can't see through him. The older cultivators of the various clans were all watching the North Demon. They wanted to know just how powerful he was, but unfortunately, they were unable to find any clues. They were all looking forward to the genius of the Taoist temple forcing the North Demon to show his true power. Far away in the forbidden zone of the demon court, Zhu Fu opened his eyes in the blazing canyon. He was relatively tired. He had been using the heaven-refining cauldron secret technique to drive the cosmic furnace day and night. which had taken a great toll on him. But he was still unfathomable. A big shot who was about to become a major figure opened his eyes and looked at the North Demon. He wanted to know how powerful the North Demon was now. The North Demon is indeed powerful. Zufu nodded slightly. Then, he looked at the furnace of heaven and earth and sneered. You are a little strange, but you can't compare to the North Demon. You still want to become the king of demons? Ha! You are about to turn into ashes. How pitiful! Roar. Amidst the blazing flames, the furnace let out a low roar. It contained a bone-chilling, killing intent. Baokai did not despair. A beast will always be a beast. Zufu's face was cold. He already knew that Tai Baokai had the banners of demons, which was why he was able to survive until now. However, he could not hold on for much longer. What Zufu was more interested in was what exactly was the Yuan spirit's secret treasure between Tai Baotsai's eyebrows. If Baotsai's primordial spirit hadn't been guarded by the broken cauldron, it would have died long ago. Poor worm. Zufu laughed sinisterly. In the furnace of heaven and earth, the Tai Baokai was almost as big as a mouse, and its body was about to shrink to the size of an adult's fist. After 2 months of torture, Baokai fell into purgatory and suffered all kinds of torture and pain. Although Zufu didn't know what happened a few days ago that made Baokai stand up from despair, he knew that if he gave him a few more days, Baokai would disappear completely. When the night completely dissipated and the purple aura filled the sky, the demon court was full of vitality. Everything welcomed the revival of life. All the experts in the demon court focused their attention on the North Demon. They were looking forward to the battle with the Tao Church's genius. Enji had already come out of seclusion. His vast sword aura surged. Although it did not have the same aura as the North Demon, it had to be said that Enji's mastery of the sword was superb. His offensive power was unparalleled. Whoosh! A dazzling sword embryo appeared. Enji also rose into the air, holding a 5-colored sword embryo. He shouted, North Demon, I heard that your dermic powers are unparalleled. I, Enji, am here to experience them. The North Demon had already crossed over to the outer regions. He followed the other demons out of the gates and charged towards the outer regions. It's just a friendly battle. Don't go too far. Shun Xiangming warned, worried that the North Demon would accidentally kill Enji, or that Enji would lose too badly. After all, the North Demon was going to enter the Tao Church in the future. The battle was about to begin. Even the Demon Region experts guarding the great Tao Dragon Vein opened their heavenly eyes and looked at the battle. They were all the North Demon's trusted aides. They were also looking forward to the North Demon's peerless glory. This young man is also very strong, but the North Demon Highness is so terrifying. Even if the Tao Church's young Overlord came, he might not be able to compete with the North Demon Highness. Smug smiles appeared on the faces of the Demon Region experts. However, this smile only lasted for a short moment before it was replaced by a look of shock. They abruptly raised their heads and looked up into the sky. They saw a golden beast skin drilled out of the space and was about to cover them. At first, they found this treasure familiar. After thinking about it carefully, they were surprised. Wasn't this a secret treasure of the North Demon Highness? Why would it appear here? This sudden change did not make them feel that someone was attacking the great Tao Dragon Vein. However, when the starry sky beast hide exploded with power, it was as if a majestic sea of stars was descending. The Demon Region experts' expressions changed drastically. Boom! The starry sky beast hide's performance was strong enough. It was filled with the power to suppress the universe. After all, this was a beast hide shed by an existence infinitely close to a mighty figure. To be precise, it was shed by a half-step mighty figure. After being nourished by the starry sky beast king for a few days, its hidden divine power had been unlocked, causing the starry sky beast hide to be very powerful. It was not only a space-time secret treasure, but also a rare treasure used for suppression. It had a miraculous effect of sealing space. How dare you? Someone is attacking the great Tao Dragon Vein. The experts' eyes widened in anger. They were in disbelief. Where was this place? This was the demon court of the demon region and the most important forbidden area of the Great Dao Dragon Vein. But now, someone was attacking the Great Dao Dragon Vein. Did they eat the guts of a dragon? Under the cover of the Starry Sky power, even the Divine King could not break the seal of the Starry Sky beast hide in a short time. This item's magical effect was to suppress space-time. This way, Su Yin could come and go like a ghost and deal with this group of enemies. B** starred. The Divine King of the Northern Demons was furious. The peerless Demon King aura in his body poured out. As soon as he attacked, he took out the Divine King's foundation and evolved more than 10 great divine powers. They soared into the sky, wanting to break the Starry Sky beast hide. Swish, swish, swish. In the Starry Sky world, a destructive aura rippled. Destructive sword light appeared one after another. Su Yin took out the 5 elements sword formation very decisively. This 5 elements great killing formation gathered and suppressed the Divine King's power of the Divine King of the Northern Demons. B** starred. Who are you? Shen Tianjing's expression was ugly. The one controlling the 5 elemental sword formation was a deity king. His entire body was filled with yin qi, as if he was a living being that had crawled out of hell. Coupled with the power of the 5 elemental sword formation, he suppressed the power of the deity king, making it impossible for Shen Tianjing to act in a short period of time. Once the Starry Sky seal was formed, the gods went crazy one after another and took out their secret treasures to attack the Starry Sky beast hide. They wanted to kill their way out and inform the experts of the demon court that there was an invasion. I'll go first. A loud roar exploded in the Starry Sky, and Luo Dali rushed out. His vigorous blood essence began to boil, and it was as if an ancient war god had returned. That barbaric and berserk energy rushed forward, making the heavenly gods feel as if they were struck by lightning. Luo Dali exploded with his strongest power as soon as he attacked. His 2 arms were about to break the mountain range and hammer the sky. He hit a god until he screamed. The god's body was shattered, and he flew out like a dead dog, coughing up large mouthfuls of blood. His face turned pale. How strong was this power? Luo Dali's strength was really boundless. He had seriously injured a god on the spot. Kill him quickly. There were a total of 5 gods here. The other 4 joined forces to attack, their eyes full of malevolence. They took out their special abilities and secret treasures. The vast power of the gods filled the entire place and surged violently. It was like 100,000 raging waves that rushed toward Luo Dali. Suddenly, a shadow that was hibernating in the Starry Sky also blazed. At first, it seemed very calm. However, when Su Yin recovered, terrifying blood essence spilled out, causing a huge explosion in the void. Boom! Divine light filled the sky and drowned out the universe. It carried the sound of thunder from the 9 heavens and resounded throughout the entire Starry Sky. Su Yan's hair fluttered in the wind while his eyes were like bolts of lightning. At the moment his dormant battle blood was burning. Even this space was trembling while strands of terrifying aura erupted and covered the heavens and the earth. It was unstoppable. Powerful energy swept through the entire space. The 4 gods felt a chill down their spines. It was as if a terrifying creature was standing behind them. The little Divine King Pill had finally allowed Su Yin to transform. Coupled with the help of the Force Armor, Su Yin was like a world-shaking god descending to Earth. He was so powerful that it made people feel despair. When the 4 gods turned their heads, their eyes were full of shock. It was as if they saw a cosmic star charging toward them. It caused the void to collapse and the universe to rumble. The entire Starry Sky was rippling with Su Yan's tyrannical power that swallowed the Starry Sky. Boom! Everything exploded. The void collapsed in a blur. Su Yan let out a long roar. The sun and moon lost their color. When his fist struck over, an extremely powerful energy surged. The scene was even more shocking than the eruption of 100,000 volcanoes. Pu, the first god, trembled. His body was blasted into pieces by Su Yan's attack. His entire body was about to explode. Stop him. The gods were shocked. The enemy was too valiant. He wanted to slaughter the true dragon. Su Yan's moves were grand and powerful, suppressing forward. His offensive prowess was unparalleled. Is this a young paragon? The gods were in despair. They wanted to prostrate themselves before Su Yan's might. What was his background? How could he have such a terrifying blood essence fluctuation? It was even more majestic than the accumulation of the old monsters. Of course, they didn't think that the other party was just a great Tao realm expert. Ever since the Milky Way, Su Yan had been lying low for such a long time. This was the first time he erupted with his full power. He became increasingly resplendent and exuded a domineering aura. Kill! He roared loudly. His long black hair spread out, and his entire body rippled with a terrifying radiance. He was peerless. The gods were in despair. This wasn't his strongest state. He could continue to erupt with power. In the end, Su Yan fully erupted. His aura was completely different. It was as if a god or devil had come back to life, looking down on the rivers, mountains, and earth, suppressing all life in the universe. Roar! They roared in despair and revealed their true forms. They erupted with the strongest power of the gods to resist Su Yan. Once they died, there would definitely be a major change in the great Tao dragon vein. It would definitely be a thunderous blow to the demon court. After all, there was the 9 dragons' treasure medicine inside. Many bloodstained primordial beasts charged towards Su Yan. Their auras were brutal, and their blood essence surged. They could still fight. However, when they were about to close in on Su Yan, they trembled as if they had collided with a giant pillar that supported the heavens. His furious fighting spirit burned. Su Yan wanted to tear the sky apart and destroy everything. Boom! This was accompanied by a resplendent, immortal iron rod being drawn out. He held the immortal iron rod with both arms and descended from the sky, smashing it down. No! The gods trembled one after another. Before the immortal iron rod smashed down, some gods had already exploded into bloody light. There were also fearful voices. This rod. He's lunatic Su.